Yes, indeed. Yo, what is the deal? Welcome to the No Pick Show. It's no handhold. Me with Fashion on Emotion. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification if you haven't already. Here with my dog, just say David. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, dog. Celebrating another year of life. You heard me? Shout out to
It's always a
everybody,
blessing.
man.
Always a blessing, bro. Always a blessing, man. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to my dog, Michael Morgan. He always showing love. Michael Morgan in the building
Oh, yeah.
with the two-piece. Was good, bro. Positive vibe. Yes, indeed. Because we gonna present some solutions tonight. You know what I'm saying? We gonna talk. We heavily solution based. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the homie Pelicans. Nola, what's good, fam?
I
And
think
we
we
got
finally starting to make an impact on people putting out solutions. Now I see some people out there starting to be like, well, they could do this, and it's like,
Hey.
oh, okay, finally. Like, let's look at it from the possibilities, not just bitching all the time.
Yeah, like niggas say, they're not writers, they biters. Shout out
Yeah.
to Kashia Thomas in the building. Say another 25-57 season loading. I wouldn't be so sure about that. Nando, what's the deal, fam?
That's good.
JB had it. So I wanted to talk about a few different things, right? Today we see again, it's the Wild West. Rumors have come out about Kawhi Leonard potentially being traded. And of course, it's for Tiny Dog, aka Brandon Ingram. I think it looks like the Raptors have had enough of this experience. If that trade does come to fruition, but you also have potentially a move with Dallas. I think the Raptors will be a lot more like easy to make happen versus Dallas. Dallas has a bunch of distressed assets, whereas
why would he go to Dallas?
Yeah, like why would he go to Dallas? And even like the Raptors, you could say, okay, they still got avenues to build. Like, and they're young, they got guys on rookie scale deals, things like that could still like work out.
Well, I'll say this: the only interesting thing about Dallas, let's say they did do a Dallas deal, you would have Kawhi, Kyrie, and then Cooper as like a young third. You know what I mean? So like you would have to sign him to an it would make sense keeping Kyrie if you did it. Excuse me, if you did it that way, but it's still kind of like you either need to make a move like that to make sense for Kyrie being there, or you need to move Kyrie and go the opposite way.
I guess the question also becomes: are you extending Kawhi immediately? Like, and what's the extension look like? I know you got to. It's like, is it 2 years? Because Kawhi getting up there. He getting up there, man. Shout out to Mr. Black stuff. So let's tap into the. Oh, go ahead.
Before we know, I just because I know we're not going to talk about Kawhi specifically. Ask you this thought real quick. If they did keep, let's say they were able to do, because they were talking about the Kawhi to Dallas trade being like Kawhi for Clay, PJ. That shit don't make no sense, right? But hypothetically, let's say you do it. Realistically, Dallas, they don't have because you still have Lively that'll probably be there. Cooper, your third best player, or something like that. Do you think that team would be able to compete somewhat, or would it be similar to what the Clippers team is right now?
I think they'll be a really shallow team. They won't have a ton of depth. I mean, I guess you still got Najee theoretically. I don't know, because Kawhi, for as great as he is, there's always a chance something weird can happen with Kawhi. But that to me, that top three is formidable. I like Cooper Flag a lot. I know people hate on Cooper, but I like Cooper. Kyrie, awesome. Kawhi is Kawhi. Cooper is Cooper. It's and it's funny. I don't hear anyone online talking about two timelines. Nobody is talking about two timelines. You got Mo Johnson. So they got two. Well, Cooper was a rookie last year. Mo Johnson's gonna be a rookie this year. What happened to the two timelines? But
and they got a brand new head coach.
Yeah, brand new head coach.
College head coach.
Yeah, like I mean, look, there's a chance they do it and it's a fucking disaster. But I also think the Clippers will be dumb to take that deal. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
No, what though? I think because in my mind, Clay is going somewhere else probably, like rerouting. But I think the Clippers could build not even solid. That's gonna be a bad team. The Clippers could build an interesting team because then it would be like Darius Garland, Ben Mathurin, potentially PJ. I guess Gafford. You locked into that team though because PJ got his contract. You got Garland on his contract. You got to extend Mathurin. You locked into that team. But
you finally talk about people not being in the building. That nice ass arena they built out there gonna be empty.
Ooh, so something I took a look at that really blew my mind, bro, was the Pelicans' future cap situation, right? I just want to highlight this because I know people feel like the Pelicans are free falling, even though not a single fucking game has been played yet. I wanted you to take a look at this, right? Now, this is before a potential Saddiq Bey extension. I think something along the lines of 4 years, $75 million would be fair for Saddiq Bey. That's about $18 million. Like, so even that's just hypothetically speaking. Let's just put that
max to me.
20. Yeah, I think if you get to 20, you done did a bit much. I ain't gonna lie. I think 18 and below, I'm thrilled. Yeah, like for real. Like, and I like
15 to 18 is ideal.
Yeah, 15 to 18, right in that pocket. I agree 100%. Right. So just looking at these books are incredibly fucking clean, bro. Like the Pelicans would have $48 million in space. And look, this is before you decide what you're gonna do with Micah. Potentially Dejounte opts out. You don't know. Maybe you've moved the Herb at that point for a lesser contract. But you got 10 players under contract, including Zion Williamson, Trey Murphy, if you want to keep Herb, Dejounte, and you would have $48 million. Let's add Sadiq's 18. Okay, you got $30 million in luxury tax room, which is pretty much cap space.
Yes.
They would be set up incredible. Like if and that's saying that they won't clean their books up further. Like in the event that you was able to move Dejounte for an expiring or lesser money, in the event that you was able to move Herb Jones, which you desperately need to do at this point, in my opinion, for lesser money.
Not to mention Zion will be on the last year of his deal, which is technically a non-guaranteed deal. So like,
if shit just went terrible, you're like, all right, bro.
If it went completely south, you got that option. But aside from that, like Zion on the last year of his deal is like, you ain't even tripping. That's a $44 million expiring contract.
Yeah, like I would have no interest in Duran, to be honest about you, Sniper. I like talking to some people who kind of in the know in Detroit. I've heard some terrible things about Jalen Duran behind the scenes. What up, Target Up Peace? So you shout to everybody in the building, man. No Zini, Nola, so you can get Dumas to run it back, shorty. You could call Dumas run it back, shorty. Now, I don't think they're gonna run it back, but I also think they got several avenues they could take to create even more cap space. One of those we're gonna talk about right now. Now, in the event. Now, this is the current Pelicans cap situation. Of course, they just declined Kevon Looney. They have about $12 million in luxury tax space. And also, keep in mind, you only have to be out of the tax by the end of the year. You can start the year in the tax and end the year out of the tax. Yeah. Now, I got something to present to you. Right, bro? Okay. When you look at some of the free agent lists that's going to be in the Pelicans range, like Marvin Bagley, Gary Trent Jr., Nick Richards, Andre Drummond, Yusef Nurkic, guys that the Pelicans could potentially go after. They can find themselves in a sweet spot by doing one simple move, and that's waiving and stretching Jordan Hawkins. If the Pelicans were to waive and stretch Jordan Hawkins, they would add an additional.
Some people with the wave and stretch is, for those who may not know.
Yeah. Well, essentially, you'll be cutting them, and the cap hit would go for each year. Like for example, if you waived him this year or quote unquote cut him this year, it's not the same as a buyout, because a buyout is a player would have an agreed upon like pretty much settlement, and they would just enter free agency. Whereas with waiving and stretching, you're essentially cutting the guy and you're absorbing the cap hit over multiple years. His cap hit right now is $7 million. If you waive and stretch him, it would only be about like a little over $2 million for each year. So the Pelicans could save roughly $4 million in cap space this year. So the reason why that makes a lot of sense for the Pelicans to do, and I'm very interested to hear your perspective on this, is you would create a roster spot, which the Pelicans only have about 2 right now. You would desperately need a roster spot. Even if you sign 2 people, you still would like to keep at least one roster spot open in the event.
They went into this like last season with a roster spot.
Yeah, with a roster spot open.
So that goes to show you the value of a roster spot.
Right. And it would allow you to do uneven trades, which the Pelicans, with the large salaries that they have, may end up needing at some point. Also, it would get you to about $16-17 million in luxury tax space, and you can divide let's say $8 million. You can give $8 million each to a free agent that may be a small overpay and just enough to get them in your building, like a Gary Trent Jr., who shot the ball incredibly last season, like Nick Richards, like Andre Drummond, like Nurkic, like guys who aren't going to get big money.
Bring them in on a 1 year deal, or 1 year.
Give them the same Kevon Looney deal.
Yes.
Team option for next year. What do you think about that potentially?
I actually like the idea about it, because it just the idea of what I think they need to be this year is looking at flexibility, but not trying to put, like, we talk about kicking the can a year down the road. Well, at this point, you've kind of established your front office, you've established your coach, right? Now I think you need to put yourself in position to be aggressive and move. Not necessarily this year, because to me, this year is more like, let me see what I have with my coach, and you know what I mean? Like let's kind of get established that way. Let's start bringing in some of his guys and get an idea of what our identity is going to look like. So moving forward next year, you really will be in a position to attack what it is that you need. So, for example, if you were to waive, and this is just a very simple example of this, if you were to waive Jordan Hawkins and create $4 million, hypothetically, and I'm not even saying they didn't want to do this, but Jonathan Isaac just got released. He has the relationship. What if you want to bring in Jonathan Isaac? You just created a roster spot and money immediately that you could throw at him, as opposed to if you don't make that move, the only true option is you got to go out and you got to hope you can include Hawkins in a trade. Right. You have to hope you can include Hawkins in a trade. And then you still miss out on the opportunities to bring in some of those players, some of those cheaper players, and I hate to call it that, but some of those cheaper players right now that may be able to contribute for you. So I hate the idea of being, like, I understood why they extended Hawkins or they picked up the option on Hawkins, but at the same time, it's kind of like, if you have the opportunity now and you're done, let's say you can't move this contract.
Yeah.
I think the idea of waiving them and creating the roster spot alone is very valuable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm with that move, to be honest. I think that's a very you saw what's Milwaukee do it with Dame.
Yep.
And at a very significant number, which is going to hurt them in the long run.
But they were able to sign Miles Turner, not a great example for Miles Turner, but none of us expected Miles to be that bad. But they was able to sign Miles Turner, man.
Yeah.
But just by doing that,
they were able to create an opportunity to go out and get a player that they probably wouldn't have been able to do, in any other situation. So there might be a player out there that you really got some interest in, or might have some interest in you, because we're not really a free agent destination. Or even if not, maybe you need to free up some more space for your trades, right? Also, maybe you got a trade for a salary you're looking at.
And shout out to everybody in the building. We got 73 people in the building. Make sure y'all hit that like button, man. Much love to y'all. So, hey, shout out to H Bizzle. Look, it's funny. We literally just talking about that H Bizzle, waving and stretching Jordan Hawkins potentially. I kind of think, as far as the trades and things of that nature, it pretty much just started. But I would like to shout out to Dark Knight. I would like to kind of hit the ground running in free agency. This is not a very strong free agent class, just being real. Like, Gillespie's already gone, who was my favorite. Yeah. Once people started bringing back their own free agents, things kind of got a little shitty. If the Pelicans did want to go big game hunting, for example, let's say if you consider Tyree Eason to be big game hunting, because in this free agent class, it's Tyree Eason, Walker Kessler, potentially John Collins, Colin Sexton. Like, this is not a very strong free agent class. This is the role player free agent class.
Next year's classes.
Yeah, next year class is like the class, but this is more of like a role player free agent class, right? So
not even like true role players, to be honest. A lot of these dudes, like, respectfully, like, some of them are role players. A lot of the players that we talking like are like end of the bench kind of guys. Like, you know what I mean? Like 8th, 9th, like Landry Shamet was like barely made.
Yeah, like a guy like that
Barry Trent don't really play. Sexton, I like Sexton a lot, but like, and he's been a guy, but like Sexton is.
You're not really even talking about bona fide starters necessarily.
Yeah, exactly.
And even, well, what's happening with your Ken Dog? And even, well, what up with your Weezy? Even in the event that you created this space, which would be roughly about $17 million, it also would allow you to take players in via your MLE. It would allow you to use your trade player exception, which is about $13 million. I think that's the Kelly Olynyk exception, if I'm not mistaken. Like, it would give you so many avenues, because truthfully, at this point, look, I understand the extension. Superman, what's the deal? I understand the extension with Jordan Hawkins, because you need mid-level tradable salary for salary matching purposes. It made perfect sense when they did it, right? But my thing is, the market has changed. And if you're not willing to attach that salary to go get a Ja Morant, or maybe a Sabonis, if you're not willing to go take, now I don't know how they feel about Sabonis. I know they're not necessarily, the last I heard, I'm not gonna say they're not fans. They had some reservations about Ja Morant. Just because, and not just the off the court shit, just like Ja Morant has a lot of things he's asking for as well, to my knowledge. So, to my understanding. But yeah, you can use that salary to get a number of guys. This is totally hypothetical, right? Let's say in the event you said, all right, Gary Trent Jr., you shot incredibly from beyond the arc last season, because he really did. Gary Trent Jr. was a guy at one time. He just fell off, but he was a fucking guy. Like, he shot 36% from the three last year.
Malik Beasley, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well,
and at one time he was like trending toward being like Norman Powell.
He was.
So 41% from 3 and 25. In 2025, 36% from beyond the arc. I think you could get him. He just opted out of a deal. I think you could get him on like $5 million, truthfully, because he just opted out of a $3.8 million deal. I think you get him for $5-6 million. Then you got a guy like Yusuf Nurkic, who went and averaged a double-double, also shot 35% from 3. Not a volume 3-point shooter, but averaged 10 boards, 10 points. Good, solid rotational big, veteran, big-bodied guy. He could start. He doesn't miss a lot of games. You have a rotation with him and Eve potentially. I think he's a guy that's probably going to get about 10 million. So let's say, hypothetically speaking, if you did want to quote unquote overpay Yusuf Nurkic and give him about 10 million, give Gary Trent about 5-6 million, you're still out of the tax, and you still got money left, and still got a roster spot in that event. So, like, there's a lot of benefits to them waiving and stretching Jordan Hawkins. That's really why I wanted to start with that. To me, if you can't find a deal to use that salary for salary matching purposes, and you don't really intend on trading certain guys to create more roster spot, because even like, hypothetically speaking, unless you're doing the Dejounte Murray with Jalen Green, which is a 1-for-1, if you trade in like Jordan Poole, who make 34 million, chances are it's going to be a multiplayer deal. Right? Like, you taking it back probably a couple people. So you need roster spots for that. So I think it could be very beneficial. What are some names you had potentially in mind when you look at this free agency? And shout out to everybody in the building. We appreciate y'all rocking with us, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button.
Dog, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of similar to your point, once they started doing once people started bringing back most of their main players, right? Like you said, Colin Gillespie went back. Like, some of the names I had again, John Collins was a name that I obviously thought about. Sexton was a name that I thought about. Lately, I've been looking at center. So I remember I talked about Marvin Bagley a while ago. Finished his year up in Dallas relatively well. Shout out to my partner Mike. Mike had mentioned Brandon Carlson for OKC, had played for them for a while. Another big, so it's a lot.
Brandon Carlson's a free agent center.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, free agent center for them. I think he might be restricted, but there's no way that they match this or whatever like that. That's not a guy that you really need to worry about at all. So like those were some of the names that I had considerations for, and also I looked at it like this: if you did have one of those free agents that like were more on the higher end, like Brent Grimes or something like that, might be a higher. Kelly Oubre might be a more expensive free agent. Will give you,
and I think I'm sorry to cut you off, and I think those guys are going to end up being around 10 to 12 million. Like, I don't think either of those guys are going to get the full MLE. Truthfully, I mean, you got teams like the Hornets and the Bulls and the Nets that could spend foolishly and use those contracts as trade chips potentially, but that don't even often happen, to be honest.
That was my thought also, to where like, let's say if you did waive and stretch Jordan Poole right now, right, and you wanted to use that money to bring in another free agent, bringing in a different free agent and whatnot. Let's say it was Kelly Oubre. Hypothetically, let's say you got Kelly Oubre to come in for around $8 million, right? I don't know if you will or won't, but hypothetically, that's the case. When you get into the
I would do it, yeah.
When you get into the season, you still haven't hurt yourself from a trade aspect, because I think Kelly Oubre is a much more valuable piece to trade at $8 million than trying to trade Jordan Hawkins at $8 million. So let's just say hypothetically, you kick this down the can, you go into the season, and you're revisiting. For some reason, Ja hadn't got dealt. They go into the season with Ja. You revisiting the Ja deal. Well, Dejounte and Kelly Oubre sound very different than Dejounte and Jordan Hawkins.
Yeah.
And you're talking about potentially the same money. So I would look at it that way. If it gave you more opportunity to, like, you ain't got to go get like a $4 million guy, but if you took that money and just went and gave it to another player that was higher quality, one, it'll help you right now because they should be able to play, but also it'll allow you to make your trade more appealing later on.
I think also, and you know, Jody Meeks won't be returning to the coaching staff next season.
That's new news.
I'm interested to know. I'm interested to know what that means for DeAndre Jordan. No, he probably want to reach that 20-year mark as a player. I wonder if it's a situation where he signs like a non-guaranteed contract and he's immediately like cut and joins the coaching staff.
I wonder how long that they have to be. Like, do you have to have a full season? Do you have to just sign the deal? Like, I wonder how that works for them to technically get like a year of service.
Yeah, I got to research that, because I know that's something Tony Snell was trying to do as well. I think he would have only needed like a 10-day or something along those lines.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's why roster spots become super valuable, because if you could create an additional roster spot, in theory, that would be 3, if I'm not mistaken, and you could sign 2 really good free agents, well, very solid quality free agents, because I don't know if there's any really good free agents, but you could sign 2 very sound quality free agents that can help you with your shooting, help you with your rebounding and defense tremendously, and you can still bring back someone who you consider to be your veteran leader in DeAndre Jordan. Let's go over and shout out to everybody in the building. Got 102 people in the building. Make sure I hit that like button. I want to go over Marvin Bagley, someone you've mentioned several times, as well as myself. Yeah. Let's check out some of his numbers. And people, you know, I understand the reputation some of these players have, like with a guy like Marvin Bagley. But here's the thing. It's all about when you get a guy. Like, if I'm up, like when the Warriors got JaVale McGee was a totally different player than the player that we had come to know. So Marvin Bagley last year averaged 20 minutes a game, played in 60 games, averaged 10 and 6. That's really solid rebounding. Shot 46% from 3. Yeah. Almost, well, damn near block a game, half a steal a game, 61% field goal percentage. He really had a great season by his standards, like tremendous.
Bro, listen, he was the second overall pick in the draft, so the talent isn't like a question.
Yeah, the pedigree is there.
Yeah, even if you don't fully reach your potential or your peak or anything like that, like I understand, right? He dealt with a lot of injuries and whatnot. But if you watch Dallas towards the end of the season, when they were tanking, right? But they were still trying to go out there and compete a little bit as well. He played really well. He's not a player that can afford to not play his hardest or play his all.
Because he could be out the NBA easily.
You'll fuck around and be out the NBA if you out there dragging ass, right? So if you look at a lot of Marvin Bagley's games towards the end of the season when Jason Kidd was giving him some run, had a couple like 20, 10, and 5 kind of games, like had some really good rebounding games as well. And again, you're not talking about Marvin Bagley coming in and being a 30-minute player. You know what I mean? You're talking about a dude coming in and being, a 20
rotational big.
Like he's better than Carlo today. He's better than Carlo. Like
today he's better than Carlo. Like
and I like Carlo, and we want to give Carlo some opportunity, but it would add a true veteran presence. Because he's been around for a little while, right? A guy, like a lot of your bigs that you have right now are young players anyway. Like Eves is at this point is your only true center, and Eves only going in the year 3. So you need a guy who even if he's a journeyman, know how to play the game. And Eves hadn't even been playing basketball for that long. On top of
he's been playing basketball about 6 years at this point. Total.
Yeah, and on top of not being in the NBA, now he looks good in his off season, but having another player like that would be a cheap option for you. That's young, still got his legs, could shoot the ball, defend the rim. You wouldn't lose too much. And another thing about a player like Marvin Bagley, it's not like he needs touches. You know what I'm saying?
No,
like you're not talking about a player that you got
low usage guy.
Yeah, low usage guy. Know he's got to come in and defend. He defended the rim relatively well. He would be a good role player, like at the end of the day.
Shout out to everybody building. Yo, we got 42 likes, man. Let's get the likes up to like 75 or something. Let's hit that like button. Yo, so another person, and look, I'm in total agreement with you. I think people get a little too hung up on the starting center thing, right? I think it's about skill sets and positions. Like, for example, if you had a bunch of great wings that rebounded at a high level, let's say Zion and Trey rebounded at an incredibly high level, you can afford to have a center that isn't a great rebounder. But since that's not the case, you need centers that can rebound in their minutes. Like, so if Marvin Bagley is playing 20 minutes and he's getting about over 5 rebounds, he's getting 6 rebounds. That's acceptable for a guy playing that number of minutes. Also, keep in mind, did they have Maxi Kleber in Dallas? I'm not even sure.
He didn't know. He was in
LA, right?
Again,
but they had
they weren't
Garland,
really
Gafford.
Gafford played the center, but he's in and out of the lineup. You didn't have Lively at all. So again, you're talking about they weren't really playing centers too much like that.
And PJ Washington was rebounding like a dog.
Well,
PJ Washington rebounded like a dog.
Cooper rebounds, PJ rebounds, Bagley was rebounding. Max Christie was, Najee's not a terrible rebounder as well.
Right.
So like their style of play, Gafford when he plays is a really good. I don't want to say really good, but he was a
solid rebounder.
So to get 20 minutes, and average 5, almost 6 rebounds, especially when they play a lot on the perimeter, because of how when I watch Dallas, how they play. He plays a lot on the perimeter. They play like a lot of spacing. That's not terrible. That's not terrible.
And this to me, things like moves like this are the benefit, in my opinion, of waiving and stretching Jordan Hawkins versus maybe trying to force that trade to happen or kicking the can. Because even if you, for hypothetically speaking, like you just mentioned with Kelly Oubre, if you were to waive and stretch Hawkins now, that doesn't stop you from signing someone at that same salary who may be a bit more appetizing in a trade down the line at the deadline potentially.
Yes.
And shout, we see y'all questions, man. We starring the questions. Make sure y'all keep sending these questions in. Another guy Nick Richards, someone me and Ross was a fan of. I thought he would be better in Phoenix. He had a nice little run in Charlotte where he was averaging 9 and 8, similar to Eve's numbers. When he was a rookie, but he's another guy could come off your bench, spot start for you, give you some solid rotational minutes. In Phoenix, he averaged 50. I'm sorry, he started 44 games, averaged 9 and 8, so that's solid. 1 block a game. Solid field goal percentage. Not gonna break the bank. Really a shot blocker, not necessarily a rim defender, but a shot blocker, rim runner, give you some vertical spacing. Also, in Chicago, when they started tanking pretty much, he averaged like 5 and 5. So that's more in line with what Eve did last year. So but to me, I care more about defensive rebounding and 3-point shooting versus a back to the basket, give me the basketball type center. I don't think you need that. I think you need a dog energy role player who's going to attack the boards relentlessly. I really think that's what you need.
Again, we talked about him before a good little bit, but like Precious Achiuwa fits that mold as well. Like in his minutes, he rebounded really well.
He was a dog.
Yeah, and even before he left, when he was in New York, I want to say he was doing a really good job coming off the bench, rebounding as well. So like that's another cheap player that should be available when free agency opens up. So like you could always consider players like that. Precious Achiuwa,
I like Jonathan Isaac as well.
Andre Drummond, Nick Richards, Marvin Bagley, Brandon Carlson. Like you have Nurkic, John, like you got plenty of options available to you.
Right.
Where again, if Eves is not on the move, right? Whoever you bring in is coming in to share the minutes anyway, unless you have an opportunity to trade or an opportunity to get your center of the future, like a Walker Kessler.
Yeah, it's gonna be big by committee, no matter what.
Yeah, so unless you're bringing in that caliber of center, which I don't really know where the deal is right now for that kind of player. If you're not doing that, this is what you're talking about anyway. Realistically, you're looking at players like you said, Nurkic, Collins, Brandon Carlson, Marvin Bagley. And I know people hate to fucking hit his name, especially tied to Troy Weaver, but a very cheap James Wiseman off of his injury or whatever, possibly making it like whatever.
You would really be hoping and praying with James.
Even saying like I don't even throw his name out there is because it's just kind of like when Miami
random guy.
Miami gave Greg Oden that last
last deal.
One when he was just looking for a cheap filler big like 10-day kind of situation. Like if you brought Wiseman in on the 10-day or something like that, it's like who cares? You know what I mean?
Right.
Trey Jemison was getting contracts and playing minutes and stuff like so. If we were allowed to let Griffin bring in Trey Jemison multiple times and fucking Wenyen Gabriel was on the roster and what's your boy name? Willie Hernan Gomez and all of those kinds of players, I wouldn't frown at Marvin Bagley being on. You know what I mean? Daniel Tice was the last guy. Like Marvin Bagley could get an opportunity.
I mean, even in Boston, like that wasn't some incredible starting lineup this year. Aside from Jalen and Derek, Derek had a down year. I mean, you look at it, it was like Cater's second rounder. You had Hugo, bro. Just like a guy, Vucevic, another person who could potentially join the Pelicans. Who I don't think they'd go that route, but even Vucevic, like I think because you got to account for, let's say hypothetically, you want to go get Jared Allen somehow, right? Yeah. And we'll talk about a couple of different trade scenarios later, but hypothetically, let's say you want to go get Jared Allen somehow, and Jared Allen gets injured, right? Now you got a $30 million injury, and you don't have anyone that you can realistically utilize in the meantime. You're right back at square one. So I think if you did have you set yourself up with a couple of rotational options, it will go further. Like you'll get more bang for your buck essentially. Because right now you got let's say Queen and can play the center in spots. Carlo and Eve. You got 3 people that can quote unquote play center, and rebound, right? 3 people that can quote unquote rebound and play center. So I think if you brought another person in, you only really ever have a 3 to 4 big rotation. You're not playing 5 and 6 fucking centers anyway. Even if you run a 2 big lineup, you only need about 3 or 4 of these motherfuckers. Because Sadiq Bey.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, not to mention the moments in games where teams go small ball, right? Right. Because you see every team at certain stretches during the game go small ball where you don't have a center on the court at all. So like you gotta account for, I don't know, maybe the 5 if your team for whatever reason, if you go guard heavy and you not guard heavy, but just like smaller players, right? If that's ended up being your strength, well, it's gonna be a bunch of times where you probably like last year, it was a bunch of times we ain't play no fucking center.
Yeah, unfortunately. Especially
so I'm not saying they're gonna repeat that, but when you looking at minutes again, if you're talking about 25 minutes for Eves and then maybe 20 minutes hypothetically for a Bagley, you're only talking about a couple other minutes of the game that probably will be filled by Carlo or whoever, if somebody was in foul trouble or something like that. So it's not like it's just a bunch of minutes to go around. So you really don't, like you say, DQ's gonna play some of that anyway. And so is you probably need about 1 rotational big unless you're going to get your guy.
Like, bro, to me, when I really look at everything and I zoom out, this is incredibly what's the word I'm looking for? Appealing to me, right? The amount of cap space that they could potentially have going into the following season, 27-28 season, right? You got your own pick, right? And like, bro, you got some really clean books. Hopefully Dejounte opts out or he's traded and you can even get off that money. Then you got Herb. Like, if you can even shave a bit more of this money off and just be sitting at, let's say, even 36 million, right? Let's say you got Sadiq Bey at 18 million and you could shave about another 6 million off and put yourself in around $36 million in space. God forbid you got like a whole max, like you got a max fucking salary space available and something crazy happens. That would be insane.
Let me ask you a question. Because a lot of the pushback is that they potentially, if you don't extend Herb, well, Herb would still had a year left, but he would have been expiring this year. You didn't have to extend Hawk. You could have let CJ walk, and they could have been in that position somewhat this year. What would be your reasoning for looking the next year? And as far as like if they deserve criticism for not doing that, having that mindset for going into this year?
My honest mindset was, I'm sure no one, Herb Jones's reputation preceded him going into the last offseason. He was injured, so you based it off his last healthy performance, which he played incredibly well.
Yes,
right?
Did.
So I think it's only fair to say, well, he was injured, so clearly once he gets healthy, he's going to continue his performance as being one of the better defenders in the league along the perimeter. Now, that didn't happen. So, in fact, when you look at Herb's numbers, his net rating in comparison to Bryce McGowan's, it's kind of close for as offensively is no contest. Bryce is significantly better. Defensively, Herb is pretty good as well. Now, you can get into when you're playing these teams, who you're playing, things of that nature, Bryce being on the second unit. I would have to deep dive to really do a fair comparison. Like, okay, when Bryce started, these were the numbers. Have to really get into that. But I think with Herb Jones, with Jordan Hawkins, with Jordan Poole, with a number of guys, you couldn't have predicted or imagined they would have a season as bad as they had. It was just unpredictable. Honestly, it was like, it's comparable to a freak accident with how bad Herb was this year. So in theory, one could say, well, all right, look, he's still on that contract for another year. Where the salary cap is going, if he returns to form last year, if he returns to form in the 25-26 season, they're like, all right, well, now he's clearly worth this $20 million because he had a really good year. And if I want to trade him, he's cost control. The contract value has been boosted. I'm sorry, the trade value has been boosted because it's no longer an expiring.
Yes.
That didn't happen though.
Yeah.
What happened is he had an awful season. Yeah. So now you're in a situation where
when you lost, basically.
I wouldn't even necessarily say they lost because I'm sure he's still worth something to someone, right?
Yes.
I think you invested in a property and the property is continuing to trend downward in value, or you bought a stock and the stock is trending downward. So my thing is, I don't think you wait until the stock returns to value because it could never do that. You could end up holding the bag. Yeah. I think, and I want to get your opinion on this, I think it's critical you move Herb at this juncture. If for nothing else, if for no other reason, you clear the books for next year and give yourself as much cap space as possible. What's your thoughts on that?
I'm good with that thinking. My only, I guess, hesitation or concern, because I like the idea of having clean books. I just get more, I guess I'm more hesitant as to how we, not saying that they wouldn't use those well, but again, if our idea is potentially targeting free agents, that's why I get a little concerned about, because you don't really get free agents. The only benefit is I think going into not the season coming, but the following season is going to be so, like, there's going to be so many players opting out of deals or that need extensions, and
there's only so much cap space available.
It's only so much cap space. So teams that do have cap space, you find yourself, for example, in a position where the teams that's going to go all in to win right now, like Denver, has the opportunity where they might not be able to bring back Peyton Watson. You might find yourself in a position to maybe steal a player or two or something like that if you find yourself with the available space.
I'm sorry, I just want to say this also. Look at Chicago. Like, Chicago just got Nick Claxton for nothing.
Yeah,
like just cap space. Like, they just absorb them. He's a fine player, not an awesome player, but fine player. You just absorb them into cap space. Same thing with Memphis, if I'm not mistaken, what they were able to do with Isaiah Stewart, and you get a couple of seconds or a first for your troubles. And because all of these dudes ain't distressed assets. Sometimes you just want to go in a different direction. Like, sometimes you moving money just so you could do something bigger down the line.
Yeah.
But I think there's a ton of benefits to it, like, as well. But I'm sorry, go ahead, bro.
No, you're good. My thought is that, like, clearing up some of that money don't also signal rebuild, because in this scenario, you will go into that season with year 3 Fizz, year 3 Queen. You still got Zion, depending on how that looks. Trey is still on the books, and realistically, that's your core. You could decide on Eves, but you'll still have you'll have your draft pick, which possibly could be 2 picks depending on how things work out with you. Dejounte technically is there, whether he'll be, if he comes back or not. At that point, you're not really worried because it's an expiring. If he does take his player option, it'll open up more. You won't have trade, I can salary for salary, but you could just take on certain assets to be able to add to your team that way. And I think why that works out as well is because it also gives the reshaping of the team, the long-term, the longer vision of what's going on. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, you can start seeing shaping out. For example, if they did not much this year, let's say they signed, hypothetically, 2 of the names we talked about. Let's say they signed Gary Trent to a loony 1+1, not at 8 million, but a loony 1+1, and then fucking Marvin Bagley, right?
Yeah.
1 year deal. Okay, those numbers fall off the books. Jordan Poole fall off the books. All those players fall off the. Now you got your roster spots. You done survived the season. Your players they got better, and now you're going into technically year three of your process,
right?
With an opportunity to continue to build on what it is that your vision is. Year 2 of Mosley. Right,
and you got a bunch of money.
Guys. Yes,
you got a bunch of money.
Yes.
Now Fairs is in year 3. Derek is in year 3. Maybe who knows what happens with the rest of the roster. But I also think another point. Shout out to the home of Louisiana gal in the building. It's like when we talk about rebuild again, I think people are just so incredibly disingenuous with some of these talking points because Herb Jones is not very good.
Yeah.
So like I'm like just if I keep it in a cool dollar, and I don't mean in a disrespectful way, it's a highly replaceable player. So like if you sign this totally hypothetical, fucking Matisse Thybulle, is that like a significant drop off from Herb Jones? Even like let's say Bryce McGowan, right? Bryce McGowan is making a little over $2 million. Herb Jones, and next year he's going to be making a little over $2 million as well, if I'm not mistaken. If you decide to bring him back, Herb Jones is going to be making $20 million. Is Herb Jones $18 million better than Bryce McGowan? No.
A better question would be if you moved Herb Jones, right? And I kept Bryce. Like, is Herb like that much better than Sadiq Bey?
Is he that much better than Micah Peavy?
Yeah. Is he even like people already on your roster, right? So it's kind of like, not saying that Herb isn't better than those guys, but
not saying
how much. And again, you'll have this season. Like I promise you this, you'll have this season as well with how Jamal Mosley plan on playing. You'll see what Michael Peavy looks like in comparison to Herb. You'll see what Bryce looks like in comparison to Herb. And if it's close, I think it's up to the front office. Not that they won't love playing Herb, but like Herb is gonna have to play so phenomenal to just look significantly better than those guys that like, and again, if they look good, not phenomenal, but they just look good, you gotta, again, bro, you just gotta be winning a bunch of games to be like, I'm not moving her. You get what I'm saying?
Right. To me, like, as things, what's happening with your coach? It's shout out to at home LP in the building. To me, excuse me, more than anyone else, and me and you talked about this, and I feel like I've been talking about this for years. Right? I'm like, you absolutely have to move her. Like, if you don't do nothing else, I think you gotta move her because this, and ideally waive and stretch Jordan Hawkins. Those two moves would save your offseason, in my opinion. Like, those two moves would save your offseason, in my opinion. Shout out to Louisiana again. She said, I heard those two trades you and L created a while back floated through agent circles yesterday. I'm talking about Dejounte for Fred VanVleet or Dejounte for Jalen Green. Hey, I like either one of them. Louisiana said, don't think it happens because Joe still wants a veteran guard. He's being stingy in the market, but was happy to hear those ideas floating around. At least the ball getting rolling. You know what I'm saying? I think, again, like we've spoken about Jalen Green, and I didn't know that Fred VanVleet tore his ACL and his meniscus. So that changes a little bit. Look, Louisiana Girl just said that. I saw that clip too. That changes a little bit how I feel about Fred. I ain't gonna lie. No, you still take him and just like Dejounte go home.
So my thing was, if I did, this is how my approach to taking Fred VanVleet was. If we took Fred, I might need Reed Shepard as well for y'all because you don't know what you do. Because again, look at
need the money to match anyway. Though,
you need the money to match. Two, they don't know. They about to be in a situation. Reed contract coming up, a men's contract coming up. You still don't have a point guard, right?
Yeah.
And Fred might not be ready to play.
Yeah.
So what again? Give me
the meniscus are tricky.
Let me take on Fred, right? And then I don't know if Fred's gonna play or not. I think he's on the expiring, if I'm not mistaken. His money falls off the books. You got Dejounte for this year, and he's got the player option, or y'all could work out a contract. I'm sure they want a veteran guard. It'll clear up the idea for Jeremiah Fears to start. You still got a veteran around. He's not as far away. So then you technically, let's say you bring him off the bench, right? Or whatever the situation is, you bring him off the bench and he give you 20 minutes a game. That's fine. And then he goes on about his business, and you then acquired a Reed Shepherd in that process. And then you have another young guy, got some years under his belt, and maybe you see if he can turn into something here with a little more runway. So like, I have been thought about the idea of like, listen, I said this all last year. You need somebody now, like Houston needs somebody now. They're trying to. You got Kevin Durant. You can't keep losing in the first round, bro. Go get Dejounte to come play that point guard. Reed Shepherd's not going to do that for you. Commit to everything that y'all got going on and then move forward with that. So, like, that would be my deal for them.
You know what's funny? Only reason I wouldn't do it is because I just wouldn't want to be – I like, if I could get Reed Shepherd, I would consider it more. I would just be like, damn, I need somebody that could play in the event that I trade, like, even if if Dejounte was able to play next year, while I don't think he moves the needle, he's a solid player that can play and fulfill a need. Like, if there was a world where Fred VanVleet was like, I'm experiencing some swelling, they fucked it up. Now I gotta go get the cushion, put it on the bone. I'd be like, well, damn. Now I
ain't worried, bro. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't worried because again, that just gave me the opportunity to start Fierce, and then this is where your sign your Stretch Hawkins comes in. Then I go sign Tyus Jones for cheap, or I go, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I could be a cheap point guard at that time. Well, you know, like
it's definitely a number of ways to look at it. It's funny with Houston. And shout out to everybody in the building. We got 90 people in the building. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Let's get the likes up to like 75, 80, man. Shout out to everybody in the building. I think we got like 49 likes right now. But Houston is another team, and I was talking to somebody about this the other day. I don't want motherfucker think they saying something smart, and it's just like, no, bro, like you aren't. Like Houston is the team that went the rebuild route. Yeah, you got a number 2 pick, if I'm not mistaken, in Jalen Green. You got 2 number 3 picks in Reed Shepherd and Jabari Smith, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And just last week, Houston said we ready to trade all these motherfuckers. That's not Amen Thompson.
Wait, so you had Jalen Green, Reed Shepherd,
Sengun,
Jabari, Amen.
Who's Tyree
Eason, Cam Whitmore fell to you.
Deshaun Tate.
Yeah, you had a bunch of situations in that. And again, they made the playoffs, don't get me wrong, but you pivoted from what you were, and you know what the main thing that happened to them was as well, that was the benefit to them that worked in their favor that we didn't do until right now.
What's that?
Ime Udoka got fired.
Oh yeah, they got a great coach, and really,
coach,
bro, same thing. Like, it's no coincidence that with Detroit and with Houston, what happened when they acquired all this talent.
Yes,
they hired a great coach, and the great coach helped them succeed. Like that, that's the thing that I think tends to go over people's heads somewhat. It's like, no, bro, they brought in some fucking like a great masterful coach, or at least a master motivator at minimum. Yes. Like the players like ain't just like I don't know. I think it's a little disingenuous.
So, look at all of the teams that rebuild, right? Most of them, if you have a bunch of talent that don't win, probably bad coaching and stuff like that, right? The second they get a true like quality coach in the building, you see every team take a step. Like while Golden State was good with Mark Jackson, Steve Kerr came now, better situation. His players got great. Boom, took a step. Houston was struggling. Boom, took a step. Who else was another one?
Celtics.
The Celtics was another one. Like you just mentioned, the Pistons was another one. Look at how, and I personally think your boy in Phoenix was a shit show last year. Not the coach they hired before him.
No, is it
Fred?
Budenholzer. Oh yeah, Mike
Budenholzer. So Budenholzer was that it was terrible. They finally got a decent coach to start turning it around. Boom, you see them. Chauncey in Portland, terrible. Tiago looked competent, and boom, they take off.
And it's also coaching absolutely matters, and it's also like when you look at it holistically, it's like I even hear some people complain about the luxury tax, and I'm like, look, you don't have to pay the luxury tax to be a competitive team.
No.
When the Pacers and OKC both went to the finals, they weren't a tax team. No. The Spurs weren't a tax team this year.
No.
Like, you don't have to pay the tax to be a competitive team. Even teams that quote unquote rebuilt, like the Spurs, Victor Wembanyama, Castle, Dylan Harper, a few other young guys. They got Harrison Barnes, Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, De'Aaron Fox, Luke Cornett, Kelly Olynyk. Like they have a bunch of long tenured players, and this is their first year. Really,
Plumlee and Biyombo on that roster, though.
Yeah, like come on, man. Like
and they hit on some of hit. You know what they did also? They hit on their Bryce McGowan. Like Bryce McGowan. Champagne is their Bryce McGowan. That dude stepped in as in $3 million in the starting for you. AJ Mitchell for OKC. When J-Dub goes down and you got a $3 million guy in AJ Mitchell that can step in and play and just Dennis Jenkins, like they needed a guard player. Whatnot. That dude's coming in better than most.
Shout out to homie Zeke.
Well, appreciate you, dog. Stepping in and just coming out and producing. Dog, these players are playing better than guys that's 20 million, 30 million, whatever. Yeah. So that they make them expendable.
Bro, they cut what the Pelicans should do. Yeah, like the Pelicans should do. They cut Jeremy Sohan. Like a guy that was, I think he was drafted 9th or 10th after Dyson Daniels. Yeah, they're like, nah, it ain't gonna work. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And look, for the Pelicans, Jordan Hawkins ain't your pick. It ain't your mistake.
No.
You know what I'm saying? You try to do the best. You try to make the best out of the situation. Sometimes shit just don't work out. The market is different. This ain't a seller's market right now. It's a buyer's market.
And so it'll be less to just cut Hawkins than like you saw, for example, we not even in the tax like Orlando was in the tax, if I'm not mistaken.
Orlando is in a terrible position.
So Orlando had to do something about Jonathan Isaac. We not even in that type of a situation, but the flexibility that you could get again, simply not even from a money standpoint, simply from the roster spot.
Yeah, having an additional spot alone would be great.
And it also would do is force you to, like, it wouldn't force you to have to attach Hawkins to, like, for example, if somebody wanted to do Dejounte for Jalen Green, like we've been talking about straight up, you ain't got to be like, well, hey, can you take Hawkins too? And now we got to try and figure that out. It's like, no, you ain't got to ruin a deal to try and get Hawkins off the roster. Like, cut bait, sit him on his way, let him go find his team, and then move forward.
I think honestly that's something that if I could speak to the front office today, I'm sure they done forgot more shit than I'll ever know. But I'm like, have y'all considered this?
Yeah.
Have y'all considered this option? Because this ain't like a nuclear option. Like, look,
it's not like you doing it with Zion. Like,
it's not like you saying, look, Jordan Poole, we're gonna buy you out, just go stay home. It's like, no, Jordan Poole can play, he's a serviceable player. Whereas there's not even a real pathway for Jordan Hawkins to get minutes this year.
Jordan Hawkins will not touch the floor this year.
Like, if he does play, something that went incredibly wrong, truthfully. Like, just think about, even once you sign free agents, it's going to get clunky.
Yeah.
Because you got some guys, you like, well, damn, I'm going to play you, but you can't really do this.
Them coming back healthy already makes it like, bro, like just from a wing, one, he's a guard, right? He's not a true wing. He's a guard.
It's a small guard. Yeah.
So like Dejounte and then Fizz, and then technically he's your other. I mean, I guess if you just, I don't know how you consider Bryce. I don't know if you consider Bryce a wing.
I consider Bryce a wing.
Right. So then it's technically Hawkins. Well, you don't really dribble the ball well. Like you don't, and you're small. You don't defend. You don't you just can't, when you have the log jam at wing position, right? Those dudes got to get on the floor at some point, and they're going to get in on the floor at like the guard spot. So that's just kind of like where it goes. Now, I don't like also, I wouldn't mind them bringing in another guard, even if you do keep Dejounte and Fierce to bring in like a third point guard. If you could find like somebody cheap just in case, because injuries do happen, right? And then you end up with fucking Dejounte. If he goes down, now I got the only point guard on the floor is Fierce. So I think just as much as we talking about like shooting and rebounding, I personally think it would be nice to have even if it's a cheap point guard of some kind.
Yeah, and I think you could do that like via 10 days. Like if a guy gonna miss a couple weeks, you give him a couple 10 days.
All the guy type deals, type piece.
Exactly, right. And you got other guys that can handle some of the ball handling duties, like Zion. If you were to keep Jordan Poole, he can handle some of them. Like when I just going over this roster, it's like, man, there's a lot of people. Some of the skill sets are redundant, and you missing two of the crucial skill sets that you need. You got Zion, Jordan Poole, Dejounte Murray, Trey Murphy, Herb Jones, Jeremiah Fears.
When I said that,
forgot about who?
I forgot all about Poole when I said that. Like,
because he might not be here.
Yeah.
Hoggins, Sadiq Bey, Derek Queen, Eve Meesey, Carlo, Micah Peavy, Bryce McGowan's. Like, realistically, if Micah Peavy, and who knows if this is gonna happen, but if Micah Peavy go out there and have a great summer league, I think he's gonna be in summer league too.
Yeah, be in summer league.
If he go out there and have a great summer league, and Pierre has this great summer league, now I do think Pierre has a steeper climb than Micah Peavy because he's already on the roster. But it's like, that's two people in the pecking order that I can defend playing clearly over Jordan Hawkins.
Yeah,
and one that's $18 million cheaper than Herb Jones that I can defend just replacing her with. Like,
listen, they better not. Like, they better not. Hypothetically, like this is an extreme. This is an extreme. I do not project this to happen, but let's say Michael Peavy go out there in summer league and look cold, like look like a guy, right? No, there is no way you could just like Joe Nim's second round pick look like what Herb looked when he first got here. It'll be like, oh, we'll give him away at this point, in my opinion. Like, because you remember when Herb went to summer league with Willie, like he played so well that he was like, hey man, I'm thinking about starting him. If Michael Peavy for some reason just take that kind of leap to look like what Herb used to look like, dog, there's no way you're gonna be able to convince me that Joe Nim not gonna be like, see, I told you. Let's roll with this.
Boy, I'm adjusting my hat because I'm trying to control my thoughts. Cause like, bro, I ain't gonna fucking hold you. If Michael Peavy looked like he looked last year, I think it's just like, yo, you gotta get out of here, cuz it's just like
was too bad too. His shoes was terrible. It's gotta get better.
Now of course, like his 3-point corner shooting absolutely has to improve. But I think he had more good games last year than Herb did, which is crazy, especially as they trended toward the end of the season. He had a couple like later bullshit 20-point game, I think, a couple like scoring outbursts. His biggest issue
was the best defensive wing we had.
Oh yeah, I thought Bryce was the best of both worlds a lot of the times, and that's what I'm saying. Like you've already got multiple Herb replacements on the roster. Yeah. Like, and even some of the people we were looking at for as undrafted free agents, now those guys aren't going to traditionally make the team. But if you wanted to just carry those guys throughout the season on 2 ways or whatever, like it's such an easy
let me ask you
to replace.
Like remove your bias, right? Remove your bias, because I know you want to just move Herb.
Yeah.
But if somebody called you and was like, "We got 3 seconds for Herb," like, do you think?
Boy.
I know, not you, not you. I know you. Do you think it would be like if the fan base looked at it? Do you think it would be like, really, we gave away Herb Jones for seconds, or would you think it would have an understanding of like? This is the kind of
I'm speaking for the fan base.
No, just more like, what do you think would be the league perception of that type of move?
I think the league perception might be that that's about fair value, depending on who the player return is. And it's funny you say that because I happen to have a deal just like that right here, right? For Max Strus, for example. And look, Max Strus got to get a contract extension soon. Dean Wade, he need his money. He's a free agent. They still got Keon Ellis. Maybe they'll bring back. And they need a defensive wing. Now, I feel like if you trade Max Strus and bring in Herb, you don't even necessarily need Dean Wade. So you would be saving them, quite a bit. Excuse me, quite a bit. I would take 3 seconds for Herb. In this new basketball economy,
seconds go a long way.
Yeah, seconds go a long way. And I think Herb is more of like a protected. I have a protected first value on Herb. Yeah, at the most. I wouldn't trade unprotected first for Herb. I wouldn't trade multiple first for Herb. I just don't think that player demands that anymore. I got
like
in the NBA.
A full lottery protected first for her, like not just a minimum protect. I got
I got like top, totally top.
And 15. The lottery go up to 16 now, moving forward.
Yeah, so it would be top 16 protected. Like for me, Max Strus could shoot in the event that it don't work out. He can shoot and defend also. In the event that it don't work out, his money's falling off the books. If you want to keep him for a couple years, you can keep him. But he
reminds me of Sadiq Bey.
This checks so many needs for me. Again, got some playoff experience, defensive intensity, again, incredible shooter, and you could get 3 seconds. If this was something that was realistically on the table, I would do it in a heartbeat. Look, I wouldn't, if I'm the front office, I would approach this like Vito Corleone. And this is what I mean. Like on a Godfather 1, after Sonny got killed, when Barzini killed Sonny, Vito approached the commission. He was like, look, we got to squash this. Vito did that because he knew he wasn't in no position at the time to go to war with Barzini and the rest of the commission. So what he did, he just played the background. He trained Michael. And when they got time to christen the baby, he killed all them motherfuckers. And so for me, I feel like with Joe and Troy, they not gonna win the public perception race. Like people's minds are already made up generally, especially the local media for different reasons, right? I think you should just bite the bullet and go on about your business and take a quote unquote setback for a larger comeback. That would be my perception. That would be my way of doing things.
I ain't gonna lie. I'd rather, if I'm moving her, this probably sound weird. I'd probably rather have 3 seconds than a protected first.
They say they allegedly got offered a top 10 2028 protected pick for him and didn't accept. And see, that's the thing too. Depends on who the team is. Now, because I said this today, if I can get 3 seconds or one protected first, that's like 22. I think I'd rather have the 3 seconds. And this is why. Because for one, that contract's not guaranteed.
Yes.
And for two, like
you can move seconds.
I can move seconds. And it depends on how shit kind of looking in the draft. Like in this particular draft that just passed,
a couple seconds could have moved you up to the first.
Then it's like after you got past pick 16, everybody was about the same. I ain't gonna, to me.
Yeah, no, it's fair.
Now I do think but here's the thing too, like Louisiana Girl saying, if you did get a top 10 protected pick in 28, you could have moved that bitch for seconds. Like, you know what I'm saying? You could always go get the seconds. Like, so I think if that's something that was on the table or may still be on the table, I think that's something they should explore, especially if you got a chance to clean these fucking books, bro. Like, if you could clean these books going into next offseason, and no one's saying punt this season, because that's why moving Herb isn't a rebuild to me, because it's whatever. Like, but if you could get somebody solid back that can help fulfill a need, like shooting or like defensive rebounding, or just like anything, who's just a better fit generally at a cheaper cost, man, you gotta do it. Cause
the thought with Herb is, like with anybody, right, is let's say you remove Herb, then your thought is, all right, man, listen, we need two-way, like we need at least to go try and get a two-way wing. Right. Well, you already have cheap two-way wings on the roster, right? That you would be willing to give the opportunity to. And if all else fails, you already got Saddiq Bey that could step in temporarily into that position if you didn't bring in a player to replace that. So like you have the Herb Jones replacement in Saddiq Bey. I have the Bryce McGowans to replace Saddiq Bey. And if I need another wing, I still got Michael Peavy right now. So realistically, you can move it damn near for anything, and it don't really hurt you. That's why I say if I got offered the 3 seconds, which the seconds would be guaranteed, as opposed to the first where depending on what the season look like, it's something that I might not end up getting. You know what I mean? Especially with how the new
I want to say that like because now if you at the end of the first round, you're at the beginning of the second round.
Yeah.
So that could be like pick 31 or some shit.
And let's say, I don't know, but hypothetically, let's just say that the team that offered you that pick, that top 10 protected pick was like, let's hypothetically say it was Dallas, right? Let's say it was Dallas. Well, in this scenario, do we expect Dallas to be a bottom team? Probably not. But if you don't make the playoffs, right? Anything from like the bottom 3, like as long as you're not a bottom 3 team, which I don't expect Dallas to be that bad, but like to not making the play in, you got a chance of being in the lottery. Like, you know what I mean? You got a really good chance of jumping into top 10 space. And that's the case, like you probably just lose that pick. So give me the multiple seconds in the case for Herb Jones, right? We ain't talking about trade, that's different. Like in the case for Herb Jones, I think multiple seconds go a long way than the top 10 protected first, depending on who the team is, obviously. Like if that team is Detroit, you know what I mean? Then it's kind of like, fuck, I don't expect y'all team to be y'all picked to be top 10. So I'll probably take more of a chance on it, or Boston or something like that. I'll take a chance on it. But I don't know.
I think because I don't want to be on here like I'll trade Herb for a ham sandwich because I don't eat pork. But if it was a turkey sandwich, I probably would trade him. Like that's just being real. That's where I'm at. Like it's just looking at these books projected forward. I'm like, damn, I didn't realize. I knew y'all was in a decent space contractually for his money that you owe. But I'm like, yo, this is actually a really good place to be, especially owning all of your picks. If you could turn Herb into a couple assets, and make a move here, move there, you don't have to touch the quote unquote, like, I don't want to say core, but you don't have to touch like the marquee guys. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's several avenues.
I wonder how bad that salary was. Like, for example, if that salary was Dorian Finney-Smith,
I wouldn't have done it. I ain't gonna lie. Like hell, like dog. And that's the thing too.
How bad was the salary?
People be talking about these rebuilding teams. Yeah. Dog, Houston jumped the gun with that shit and got one of the worst contracts in the NBA right now with DFS. Yeah, like they wasn't even playing Son last year.
Can't even play. Yeah,
can't even play them. Like that's why. Oh, even that's what I'm telling you, bro.
Like $20 million, ain't he?
Oh, it's so. Like and then it's like 4 years.
4 years left.
It was like no in fucking.
Yeah, it was like, look, give me. Because again, if I'm Houston, they be like, look, here top 10 protected pick and Dorian Finney-Smith for Herb Jones. Like, no. I'm
no, thank you. No, like, why would I do that? Like, fuck no.
I guess it depends on the player or the team what the scenario is if you say no.
And this is how delusional people can be sometimes, bro. Dorian Finney-Smith, he got 3 years left on his deal.
That's a bad contract. Herb a bad contract too, though.
Yeah, Herb a bad contract too. It's just Herb is younger than Dorian, a few years younger, but also like people value Dorian Finney-Smith the same way they valued Herb a couple of years ago when he was with the Nets, when he was with the Utah. I think he was with Utah before, if I'm not mistaken. Like once he went to the Lakers, it was like, it didn't work out. He went
to Dallas for a while. He was playing with Luka.
With Dallas. My bad. With Dallas,
Luka make everybody look awesome.
Yeah, Luka make everybody look better. And even like Royce O'Neal, some of them dudes was highly valued. For those type of role players, the low level role players, that shit don't last long. You gotta give him, and I'm speaking more so like not even to the front office. I'm speaking more so to just like people's understanding of those situations. Because this is something I've been saying for years, even when Griff was here. Like, no, like you can always get a guy that does that. Like if Herb was an incredible rebounder, like Josh Hart, I would have more reluctance because I'd be like, nah, because we ain't.
It's hard to get a dude that just go get 12 to 15 rebounds.
That's hard to get.
Listen, bro. I'm not saying that defense don't win games because you absolutely got to be able to guard.
Right.
But if you could get motherfuckers that's going like everybody could get boards. Like to me, that's Dejounte Murray. One of his best qualities is that he's a guard who can rebound. Like you know, he's one of the better rebounding guards.
I actually thought Jordan Hawkins was a solid rebounder. He was a decent rebounder.
Yeah,
he was decent.
Yeah, but he just didn't have opportunities to do none of that. The shooting keeps him like his defense was never going to be great enough to counteract him not being able to shoot the ball, right?
Hey, how do you feel about? I'm sorry to cut you off. How do you feel about Sasser? Say Sasser could potentially be on the trade market. Would you have any interest in Sasser from Detroit?
It depends, I guess. What we moving him for? I guess.
I got to look at his salary. He can't make more than like a minimum.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't really care, to be honest. Like, not I don't care, but like, what? I'm more so like, if they're not going all in, which is not
Detroit,
true.
You mean?
No, us, right? Okay. I don't mean all in, but like, if players like Ja is not on the table. Again, Jalen Green, Jalen Green for Dejounte, again, that just works. But again, Jalen Green only got one, like the contract situation is still the same. You know what I mean? So it's like it don't really. I like Jalen Green over Dejounte because it's just a young potential. I have upside, I feel like, with the player.
Right.
But if we ain't doing something like that, I don't even really care too much about like the sad
around the edge.
Players. Like because if that's the case, like I'm more inclined to think about like the Waiving Hawkins move. So I could get like two Sassers. You know what I mean? So like it's not necessarily about Sasser specifically. It's more like, can I move Hawkins and turn Hawkins into a potential usable player? If that makes sense. You look at salary, it almost killed you.
No, I just saw a post. I think this is from NBA Central. It says the Clippers have zero interest in Brandon Ingram and the potential Kawhi Leonard trade, and would demand Colin Murray Boyles and any potential deal. Shit, I would too.
I believe that might be from them, but I believe that. Like, why would if I'm the Clippers moving Kawhi, like respect, like what is, because Kawhi would extend. Like at the end of the day,
Kawhi gonna extend anyway, go to get that money.
Kawhi gonna extend and take the money. So like, why would I, if I know I got the extension for Kawhi in my pocket, like why would I just give him away for BI? Like,
and then it's like you got Garland, Brandon's. I don't want to pay Brandon that money. So it's just I don't know. It's tough. It's tough, bro. Yo, we got 90 people in the building. Make sure y'all hit that like button. We're gonna play a quick commercial and we're gonna come back, answer some of the star questions, and talk about some other things that may come up. But we're gonna play this quick commercial. Make sure y'all hit that like button.
Look at today's game. What are the components that you believe a team absolutely has to have in order to win a championship?
I think there are shooters, and then I think there are scorers. I think you got to score in this league, whether it be shooting the three or getting into the paint. I think that's you got to keep that scoreboard moving, Steven. You can't get stuck on 80 points and think you're going to get stops and win the game. So you got to figure out a way to keep that scoreboard moving.
Man, shout out to everybody. Look, shout out to the homie Louisiana girl. Oh my God. He said, Louisiana girl said, Toronto has been offering Brandon Ingram to everyone, and he allegedly would like to be moved. Now, them taxes in Toronto are fucking serious.
Bro, that fucking end of the season for BI and them having to, I guarantee you, because Toronto historically has been a tough team.
Yeah, very
right?
tough.
They've been a tough physical team. Like that's their makeup, right? See, when Brandon was out there talking about my team wasn't looking for me and all of that and that playoff and then sat out, I'm sure that rubbed people the wrong way in Toronto, how that playoff series went.
I think also when certain players are out, not saying Brandon specifically, I'm just saying certain types of players are out, you kind of find yourself being like, this is really fun.
Shit running a little smooth.
Yeah, this is fun. like that's why. Look, I was watching the Raptors a lot. They was like my second favorite team in the league last year.
Yeah,
because the Pelicans was off. But I'm watching and I'm just like, RJ Barrett really is the MVP of this team. And we could have gotten RJ, which makes David Griffin is a motherfucking devil, dog. That motherfucker's the devil.
RJ Barrett, bro. I would take RJ. Let me. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Go ahead.
Who is your top 3? Right, I give you 3 of them. Top 3, 9 stars, like 9 Jalen Browns.
Yeah.
Players that you would bring in for this team. Like if you could moving forward, like 9 stars, they don't have to be like bottom tier players either.
Yeah.
Like RJ Barrett, like those type of players.
Probably RJ Barrett, Miles Bridges. Because I'm gonna just say perimeter guys. RJ Barrett, Miles Bridges, PJ Washington. Rebounders, physical, tough.
Yeah, for me, it'll be like Shaden. I like Shaden, though. I like Shaden a lot, bro. I know how people feel, but I like, because you know what it is? I like young potential upside players. So like Shaden, who else, dog? I can't get beyond Shaden right now. Like Denny when Denny was in Washington.
Oh yeah, Denny. Yeah, I like Denny back then.
Denny would have been a guy. Who? Give me a little.
I like a lot of people on Portland roster. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
But
Tamani, you can't get Tamani, but Tamani would be one. For sure.
Like another person that's not like
RJ.
A person who I would
Dylan,
gamble.
I'm sorry, Dylan is mine too. Dylan is one of mine too. Dylan Brooks.
Oh yeah, Dylan Brooks. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, somebody who I wouldn't mind taking a flyer on, bro, if I can move Herb for him and get like a sweetener. It really would be Patrick Williams. And I know everybody can't stand Patrick Williams, but this is why I say that. Patrick Williams' contract is starting to trend downward, right? He's getting to the end of that contract. And also, did you know this motherfucker's like a career 38% like 3-point shooter? Like, dude can really shoot.
So this is the issue with Patrick Williams, right? Not the issue, but like he actually wasn't a terrible player.
No,
they had like built him up to be.
He was drafted way too high.
Yes. So he's terrible based off where he was selected. But like, if you just brought him into your roster for like Herb Jones, he could be Herb.
Like if you gave him a rotational role, right? And I'm not saying that you should go out there and trade for Patrick Williams. I'm saying I would accept it. He's 24 years old. Last year, he only averaged like 7. I mean, it was tanking, but he only averaged like 7, 3, and 1. Like, but he shot 34% from 3. Year before that, like he's not good. But here's the thing: a guy like that, if you put him in the right situation and just be like, look, the chance of you being a star or something, that's out of here.
Yes, you did.
I got a role for you.
Okay.
Like, dog, look, shout out to Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon is when you watch Aaron Gordon in Orlando, I don't know who this new nigga is. This dude played nothing like this.
Yeah.
So if you get Patrick Williams, like, look, bro, you're not gonna be no star. That's not what this is.
Yeah.
What I'm gonna do is keep you in the NBA. You're a big physical monster, right? Yeah. You're a physical beast.
Yes.
And you can shoot.
Yeah.
You're going to be a 3-and-D guy and crash the boards. All that other shit, no.
Yeah, no tween for you, sir.
Yeah, none of that. I don't know why you working with Sham God.
None of that Harlem Globetrotter shit.
Yeah, none of that yo hip hop and one shit. Okay, hot sauce. I need you over here watching some of this motherfucking Naismith film, because that's all you're gonna be doing, right? Like, don't work with that coach. Come work with this coach. You don't need to be working with these. Like, no. Yeah. But honestly, something like that, I would take a chance on, just because you talk about like 18 million versus 20 plus million, and this is someone who can't totally be ignored along the perimeter. And it's like 2.5 years. Like, if I could get a sweetener, absolutely wouldn't be my first option. Absolutely.
Like I said, a sweetener. What you consider a sweetener? 3 seconds?
You know what? I'm gonna say this. I need a first. This is why I need a first.
I need a first.
I need a first because I'm taking Patrick Williams off your hands. Like, if you Bryson, you didn't give Patrick Williams his contract, and they probably can't give him away.
Yeah,
like now.
I'm sure Bryson probably feel like, well, I'm not attaching assets to nobody. We rebuilding. So,
but see, that's the thing too. Is like, are you rebuilding because you just took Nick Claxton? I mean, yeah, you just took Nick Claxton into your cap space, and you still got Giddey. You still got Matas. Like, you still got some niggas that's like, wait, they a little too good for me to like tank, or like they got too much money and too much value for me to just be bumped. And Patrick Williams made 18 million. So unless you about to be like, I'm gonna just ride this contract to the end of the contract,
they're gonna roll that bitch into Bryson gonna roll that bitch into the season and just let them do whatever they're gonna do. Go out there and develop him, Noah, whoever be good.
I forgot they even had Noah.
Yeah, him, Noah, Matas.
That was a weird draft. I ain't gonna lie.
Roll out there.
Draft was kind of interesting.
Though, do you want to? Did you look at the potential 27 free agency list?
I looked at it before. I saw some big time names in there. It's crazy. Go ahead.
If I run some of
them? Go ahead.
So just hear me out, because we was talking about potentially going into 27 with potential cap space, right?
Mm-hmm.
Also, if you show, I think this team is gonna, regardless if they make the playoffs or not, right? Let's say they just missed the play-in, right? Which is an ideal situation, because for them to possibly get these 2 lottery picks, that's around where you need to be. I will hope they make the play-in, playoffs, all of that. Like, I want
to make the playoffs, man.
I want them to make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just throwing out hypothetical situations, though. So let's say you end up with a first. It's going to be a lottery first, because the only way you get a lottery is if you don't make the playoffs, more than likely. But with that, so you clear your books, you going into 27. This is the free agency list. You not getting these motherfuckers, and a lot of these people are like restricted and like got options, right?
Well, yeah, I would like. Oh, you on Spot Track?
Nah, I wrote it down.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Nah, I wrote it down, but I have a pretty good idea who everybody is. But just the idea of it. Steph, Joker. I think about next year's free agency compared to this one. Steph, Joker, Anthony Davis, Kawhi, Kevin Durant, Harden, Kyrie, B.I., Draymond, Karl Anthony Towns, Donovan Mitchell, Zach LaVine, Rudy, MPJ, Jalen Green, Drew Holiday, Julius Randle. Technically, RJ will be a free agent. Dylan Brooks, Brandon Miller, Casey Wallace, Derek Lively, Khalil Webb. And a lot of these, if you got to decide. These players all have to get extensions, or they have like player options. So like, again, if you know a team is going to extend you, you can opt out and, sign somewhere. Jeremy Grant, Andrew Wiggins, Miles Bridges, Cam Johnson, Jonathan Kuminga, CJ again, Santi Aldama, Grayson Allen, Malik Monk, Scoot, Reed Shepard, Asura, Amen, Saw, that whole group, Ryan Rodgers, all of them. I say all of that to say, if you go into 27 prepared, you could really come out of 27, especially if you end up with a lottery pick. Zion and Trey still around, Fears and Queen develop. You could come out of 27, regardless of if you got to trade for some of these players or whatever. But if you got the space to be ready, dog, that's when you really could start. Like,
there's a ton of talent. Like,
that's the one to be ready
27. Because, like, for example, what I did when I looked at the free agent list, I just clicked on like this unrestricted, right? Because some people you don't anticipate getting extensions, right? Like, for example, Harden ain't get his extension yet, but he probably will. Yep. Zach LaVine, though, will not be getting an extension.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Tyler Hero and probably won't get an extension. Jordan Poole probably won't get an extension. No. RJ Barrett may get an extension. Right? But like Keldon Johnson.
So this the thing with like players, so players like RJ, right? Is RJ's extension gonna be in Toronto?
You mean if he's not, like if he's traded? I guess
so. Like when I looked at it and I like some of the names, they're like they either, I don't think RJ will be restricted. He's an unrestricted.
Yeah, he's unrestricted.
Yeah, he'll be unrestricted. But like with RJ being available and players like RJ, like Cam Johnson to be available, those kinds of players, right? It's kind of like it's probably likely that your team is gonna offer you something if you don't work something out this year or whatever. But at the same time,
I think with a lot of them dudes, like if you believe Mark Stein, he was just like a lot of players don't want to enter free agency anymore. He like right now, like how back in the day you couldn't wait to be free agents because you can get wined and dined and shit. And it was like, no, I want to get traded so I could keep my bird rights and get the money. So like for some of them guys, like even Keldon Johnson, he's gonna be unrestricted next year. Keldon Johnson only 27, which is crazy. Keldon Johnson need to put them motherfucking hot dogs down. He look wild. You got Luke Dort, of course, he's going to be unrestricted by then. Max Strus is going to be unrestricted. He's only 31. So when we talked about Josh Green, Karis LeVert, Davion Mitchell, Dante DiVincenzo, like it's so many high-level role player names, or even like medium-level role players that's going to be unrestricted. Derrick Jones Jr. going to be unrestricted. Dylan Brooks going to be unrestricted if he don't get an extension. Cam Johnson, like you just mentioned. DeMar DeRozan, like Miles Bridges, if he don't get an extension.
The new NBA, though, I'm telling you, at least my opinion of it is going to be similar to like the Herb Joneses of the world, right? If you are, I don't want to say like on the fence, but like because college players are staying in college longer too, right? Like because they're getting paid in college, like your class is like your second round picks are typically older. Like Trevon Brazile right now is probably going, I forgot where he got drafted to, but he'll probably be.
I think he went to Denver.
Yeah, I think it was Denver. He's
That's Aaron Gordon replacement.
Yes, bro. Like so when Aaron Gordon's like he got years left on his deal, but I'm pretty sure they would look at it and be like, we're not extending motherfucking Aaron Gordon. We're not extending Cam Johnson or players like that. I think as you see older players in those second rounds, that's gonna just be cheap. It's gonna make players like
you're not like. There's no way Dyson is getting
giving RJ Barrett $35 million.
There's no way Dyson gets that extension again. Or Dyson is getting drafted at. Not saying he didn't earn it, but I'm just saying like that's just not the way shit go. Like seems to be going right now. But we might get some surprises this free agency, but. Before we get to the start questions, I would just say, man, I can't stress this enough. I think waiving and stretching Jordan Hawkins would help tremendously with the Pelicans and their pursuits this free agency. And I would do it sooner than later just because I could hit the ground running. Because they ain't like there's no big name free agents out here right now. Once Gillespie got signed, to me, that's one of the big names that kind of got taken. But ain't no stars.
He has a big name.
Yeah, that's how bad. Like, because if DeMar DeRozan get waived tomorrow, it's like,
not signing DeMar DeRozan.
Oh, even if you did, it would just be like at this stage, like Chris Middleton, like he's a free agent. So it's like, So shout out to some of the people here. Shout out to Sir Charles. He say, as a kick the can down the road solution at center, what would you need from Milwaukee to take on Turner for Herb and Hawkins? I would probably need a first, and some seconds, just because he got a trade kicker. It doesn't help me for us with rebounding.
I think he got like 4 years left too.
And he got like 4 years left. That's a very fucked up contract for Milwaukee. Like I wouldn't be shocked if the Pelicans like try, but he's also getting older too. I think you still find yourself in a similar situation.
In order for me to take, I hate to say it, in order for me to take Turner, dog, I need another one of your good players.
I probably would need AJ Green.
Like, for example, like if I sent you Poole, like forget Herb in this instance, but like if I sent you the expiring of Poole, I need like Turner and somebody else that like is going that I actually like. that's going to help me for taking on that contract.
That's why, and also that's why you gotta have roster spots. Because even if you did a 2-for-1 deal, you know, like to me, if it was like Poole for Turner and like if let's say if it was like Poole and Hawkins for like Turner and AJ Green, I would think about it, but I probably still would say no because I want this cap space next season. And I know I won't be able to trade Miles Turner again.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like that's why I say if I have to take on Turner, I need like somebody off the roster that like I'm.
I think you're trying to say you need Rollins.
I need Rollins. I don't think. No, you're not getting either one of them. But I'm just saying, like, if they be like, listen, you the only person that's willing to take Miles Turner. It's like, all right, I'll take him for that. For you can have my expired, but I need Rollins or Khalil to go along with this. One, we need to make the salary work, and then two, I'm like, you gonna fuck my books up moving forward. I need something to say that I got out of this and to make it worth my time.
Even with the Pelicans not being a cap team, well, a free agency destination typically. When there's only so many teams with money and it's a bunch of free agents, motherfuckers going where their money is at. So
not just that, also you find yourself just in situations where like, and I think I'm not overly moved by the players that were moved this year. Like Randall was one of the teams where players just got
I would have
moved,
had no interest.
You just absorbed, or like Nick Claxton to Chicago, where you just absorbed. Like if they would have, like let's say we got the cap space, right? And it would have been like, hey, y'all want Nick Claxton? I'd be like, no.
I probably would have taken Nick Claxton, I ain't gonna lie.
I wouldn't. I'm just saying, like, where depending on where I'm at, I'm probably gonna target my own kind of guy before like depending on like where I think we'll be in the franchise at that point. Like I rather use my money. Like, for example, you could be in that same situation. They could be like, here's Miles Turner, right? Let's say you created that cap space and they was like, here's Miles Turner, here's a first, take him. And it's like, I don't know.
Now that one I wouldn't do, but I get your point. It's like for me, it's like it just gives you the optionality, like being able to trade guys to the MLE or just having access to all of these things. It puts you in a really good spot. That's why you don't have to rush to trade if you're going to trade them at all, because I don't have a firm. Well, never mind. I don't want like.
Let me ask you this:
some behind the scenes shit.
Do you view the potential salary cap of that season? Do you view having your expiring as early access to it?
How do you mean?
So, like, example, instead of having the salary cap that summer, right, the actual space of it, if you look at it now, Hawkins and Jordan Poole represent that right now. So if there was a player, right, that you would target that essentially if they were available, you would sign them into that space anyway. Isn't that the player that you technically, if you could get them this year, would try? Yeah,
I mean, I guess it would be like pre-agency. It would kind of be like pre-agency, depending on like, I guess depending on what they was available for. Like, but absolutely, like, that's what a lot of teams do. Like, like, or even when Brandon was traded for with the Raptors, it's like we trading for you with the intentions on extending you because we know you hit the market next summer. I think for myself, that would be how I looked at it. Depending on what I was targeting, who was realistically available at center. But I think they could put themselves in a couple, like, Fizz is going to be a starter. Zion is going to start as long as he's here. Trey is going to start as long as he's here. That's 3 starters right there, right? Yeah. You got, I think, Bryce. I don't think that year is guaranteed, but let's just hypothetically say you bring back a few different rotational guys, Sadiq Bey, what have you, right? That's a solid rotate. Derek Queen also. That's a solid rotational guys, right? Then you can build upon that. You're not really in a position where you don't have any high level talent, because then, kind of like Joe said when he was first got to Detroit, then you kind of be fucked. But I think that's why, to me, with Trey being a cost controlled guy who's actually productive at that price, it's because, like, realistically, Herb only makes a little bit less than Trey.
Yes.
And they're nowhere near the same level of like productivity on the court. So that's why it's kind of like, you absolutely have to move on from that deal, man. Like, so go ahead.
Question, like here's a question. If they said I guess you would view it different. Would you rather have the expiring of like Poole, or would you rather have what's his name, like Jalen Green, for example?
How do you mean? Like what I like 1 for 1?
Like would you rather take Jalen Green and then kind of how Toronto took Brandon, and it was like we signed you, we traded for you with the extension, with the anticipation of keeping you. It's kind of like, getting it early before you signed them. Or would you rather be like, yeah, I'm gonna just take my chance with my cap space and see what I could do when I get to the cap space?
In this hypothetical, like if I could trade Dejounte for Jalen Green, I would do it. Okay. Now I wouldn't do a Poole for Jalen Green because it kind of, to me, it's a little more like lateral at this stage. But I would do Dejounte for Jalen Green because in the event it don't work out, I could just let him go. Like I can just let him walk. I think he only got 1 year left, if I'm not mistaken.
He does. I think he got a player option of some kind. It might be a team option.
And he's one of them guys that's like, let me just look real quick. He's one of them guys that's like, if you don't play well this year, you've already made the most money you're ever going to make. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Coming back with you for that 25 or something.
Yeah, well, he got a player option. So if it was like Dejounte for Jalen, I would be counting on Jalen's upside. I would probably do it still. I wouldn't do it for Poole though, just because he got the extra year. But that's if it was like,
I mean, right there, yeah, it's kind of like for a player like you rather have the space of Poole as opposed to I don't know, the uncertainty of Jalen. Even though Jalen could opt out, whatever the situation is,
I would rather have the space just because Jalen is so fucking inefficient. That's it. It's just it's like damn. It's like god damn. So if shit go wrong,
bothers you, huh?
Well, not just that, because it's like, let's say with Jalen, for example, Jalen Green, and I still would do the deal probably. Like if you put a gun in my head, I'd probably do it for Dejounte because it's both 2 years. That's the only reason it would make sense to me. But like, if you got to shoot 17 times to get 20 points, that means you're taking shots away from my efficient players like a Trey, like a Zion. Like you just, stylistically, it just becomes a issue. But he's a guy that his highs are very, very high.
Yeah.
And his lows are just like, yo, how are you in the NBA?
It's like that 17 shots at some point could be 30, and then that 17 shots sometime could be 14.
Yeah, like exactly. Then it's like you don't really defend, you don't really do anything else, and you're such an incredible athlete, such an incredible talent. And he usually played. Like he was hurt last year, but he usually played. Yeah. So it's like, and you're a guard, but not really. Like like you because like
you don't like those types of players, or you're not a fan of those types of players.
I thought Jalen Green would be better by now. I'll just say that. Like I thought, like from when I last saw him in Houston, and he was fucking balling when Sengun was out. So where I saw him last year, I was just like, you just another one of these like combo guard chuckers. Like you just a chucker. Like if he could get an efficient 3-point shot, it would change my opinion.
You feel similarly about players like him, Shaden, players like that?
I think Shaden, I thought he would shoot better. But I think kind of Shaden in that same category. He make less money than Green, though.
He makes significantly less.
Yeah, he makes significantly less.
Jalen make 36, and Shaden make like 20.
See, and that's the thing. It's like Shaden been in the league too long not to put on no muscle. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because you such an incredible fucking athlete, but you can't shoot really. So your ace in the hole is no one can stop me from getting to the rim. But it's like, but I'm bigger and stronger than you, so I am stopping you.
What did Shaden shoot from 3? I think he shot like 20.
He had
like 30-something% on 6 attempts. I think it was like 33 or something like that.
Let me 33%
on 6 attempts.
He shot damn, Shaden Sharp got a long ass contract.
He got like 5 years and like 20.
Yeah, his extension just hit. Ooh, he shot 33%. It don't say the attempts, but
he's at 6 attempts a game.
Like 20 points is 20 points. But he has 24 and 2. And you was the point guard, Shade. Like you gotta get some motherfuckers involved here.
Nah, Drew was the point, wasn't he?
Well, Drew kind of like the combo.
I don't like that either, dog. I'm still trying to defend Shade. Don't get me wrong. I like Shade. I was talking to Brennan this the other day and just was like players like that, right? Like let's say players like that. I would want a player like that over the Herb Jones. Like I do think you need like a 3-and-D kind of guy. But I'm like, this team, the way the players are currently on this team, it's not like a defensive roster. Right?
No, not at all. Not right now.
To the point that like when we talked about this a lot, I'm like, dog, offensive blitz people, bro. Get me
just run them off the court.
Just get me dudes that can score, and then we can get Jamal Mosley to get them to defend. But if I got dudes that could just, like if I got hypothetically Fears on the court, Zion, Shaden, Trey, I'm like, bitch, we should be able to beat your ass.
That's the thing with Shaden in particular is just like, if you was just a decent shooter, like if you shot 36% in transition, we gonna kill motherfuckers.
Yeah.
But to get in transition, you gotta force turnovers and defend.
Right.
So and that's the other thing is like with the Pelicans right now, they could be better in the half court because Fears and Zion can break down defenses. They both can pass. Trey can shoot. If they had one more shooter, in theory, they should be a better half court team, especially if you're setting screens. Yeah. But like again, if you got Herb out there shooting 32% or whatever the fuck. You got Dejounte shooting 29%, whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
and you or Shaden shooting like 33%. It's like, man, I'm not guarding you.
33%. See, this is why I look differently at the Shaden 33%, right? Mm-hmm. Only reason is because Herb shooting 29% on like 4 attempts. If he's shooting 9 shots a game, it's like 9.
Most of your shots gonna be threes.
He be 2 for 9, shit like that. Shaden is like 50-something%. He gets to the 2. Like Herb don't get to the paint either. So you don't shoot the 3, or you don't score at the paint, and you don't get to the free throw line. Like that's.
I guess it all depends on. I guess it all depends on who you be using as table setters in this regard. Like for example, Sadiq Bey shot 36% from 3. Right. While when you watch last year, it didn't seem Sadiq Bey didn't strike me as like a ultra efficient 3-point shooter. But when you like watch, you like he be hitting them. He'll hit a big 3. Yeah, he'll hit a big 3. Yeah, but it's like even with Shaden, like if you catch Shaden on the right game, you be like, this bitch, he must be a sniper. then you go look, you like, oh, wait a minute. Like now, look again. If the deal is like Shaden Shaw for Herb Jones, I'm doing it 10 times out of 10. If the deal is Shaden Shaw for Dejounte, I'm doing it 10 times out of 10 because now I'm counting on upside, even with Jalen Green, because I would have to hope that, like Drew Holiday wasn't always a good shooter. No. I would have to hope that
they're 23 and 22 years old, bro.
Yeah, like I would have to hope that you.
Like Shaden, the reason I keep talking about Shaden, and I don't believe Shaden is available either, but people keep
think he's available for the right trade. He'd be.
That's why I think so too. That's why I keep mentioning Shaden, because if you brought in Shaden, no, Shaden is like Shaden next to Fears potentially in the future. We be talking about that other 2, especially if you potentially. I don't say you move her Trey or whatever, but that to me secures another scoring guard, and he only makes like his contract don't go above $25 million at all.
You know what? I think Shaden and Trey are like in the same tier of player. Trae is more efficient, and him being 6'10" makes more sense. But see, to me, the efficiency is the reason why if I traded for Jalen today, I would be like, should this dude come off the bench? Like in my mind, because I'm like, I know you're gonna take a lot of shots. I know you're not the most efficient player. I need to put you in a position where you can go out like they're like Cam Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no world where you can start Cam Thomas right now. Just because of how he gotta get shots. Even Sadiq Bey. Sadiq Bey is a high volume player. Like he gotta get his shots. And that's why I just like I really need somebody that's gonna shoot 10 threes.
I was doing the shot breakdown the other day. Again, like my arguments with people get really detailed because I literally was having this kind. But like Shaden shoots about 16 shots a game, 16 to 17 shots a game. So I'm looking at the breakdown.
That's not that bad.
It's not. So like you say, Z gonna shoot somewhere between his most in his career was 17. But let's just say he gets
let's call it 19 this year.
Yeah, let's call it 19, right?
Please.
19. Trae, the most he shot in his career is like 16, I think, or something like that, which is probably gonna be right because most of his is gonna be threes. It's gonna be like 9 threes, close to 9 threes a game. And he gets his dunks and shit like that. So you're probably talking about, I don't know, 16 to 17 shots from there. After that, it's kind of like
somebody gotta shoot these motherfuckers.
Somebody gotta shoot these bitches. Do you want like I know Fear's gonna get his shots, but until he become the starter, like I don't really expect Fear to be shooting that bitch 15, 20 times a game. And Dejounte, I don't know if I want Dejounte shooting that bitch many times a game.
Here's where it get funky at because kind of like with OKC really only had 2 players, and the Knicks only really had 2 players that could penetrate the defense.
Yeah.
If I got Fairs and Zion, that's 2.
Yeah.
But let's say Fairs not starting. Let's just say Dejounte starting. Now I got 1. I got 1 guy in the starting lineup that can break the defense. So I'm like, fuck. While ideally the next guy is just an exclusive 3-point shooter. Like I'm like Trey Murphy. I'm here to catch and shoot. You got your point guard right here. You got Zion right here. I'm just here to be like Trey. I'm a space the court for you, right? But if you're in a position where you only got 1 guy that can realistically break down defenses and get into the teeth of the defense that's in the starting lineup, now it get a little funky. Like, and that's why I understand the shade and sharp thing because I'm like, dude is an incredible athlete. Even look, Dyson, as bad as Dyson is offensively, Dyson has an incredible first step. Yeah. So at least like he could get by a motherfucker. But when you got people who's like, yeah, you're not going nowhere, it's hard to really
like break down all of it. Okay.
Yeah, so that's why I understand both of them. What's his name? Jalen Green. He don't always get by as defender. He's more of like a vertical athlete. He can jump high. But it's like, still, you need a threat and somebody that can put pressure on the fucking rim to collapse and kick out the shooters. Like how I would use Dejounte this year, I'd be like, bro, I need you to play a little more like you was in Atlanta. You got to shoot a lot of threes this year. Like you're gonna be a little more off ball. You're gonna shoot a lot of threes this year because you're a little turnover happy. So I need
how Stan had Lonzo as like
exactly. Like you can run the pick and roll. It's money when you run it. But I also need you more in the like Zion is the advantage creator in this offense. Because Dejounte gets stuck at the elbow and takes a tough contested jumper. That has its place, of course. But Zion is the advantage creator, and all y'all can eat off of Zion's gravity when he's healthy. Even with Fears, everyone can eat off his gravity when he's healthy. But somebody got to shoot these motherfucking threes.
Listen, to that comment that you got, I'm assuming they talking about Kelly Oubre. Bro, listen, you could put Kelly Oubre in her spot right now and not lose a thing, in my opinion. Because Kelly going to defend, and I think Kelly's going to shoot the ball relatively well. So,
you can put Harrison Barnes into her. Look, and I ain't even trying to disrespect Harrison Barnes.
Yeah.
Man, Matisse Thybulle shot like fucking 40% from 3 last year. Like, man, you can put anybody. That's the thing. Like, I can't believe some of the debates I've had over the years just wasting
That's why I
my
would
fucking
say
time.
I'll be shopping her for players like, can I get Shaden for him? And even though I got the questions with Shaden, but it's like, if you feel that way about her, can I get Shaden for that? Or can I that's just me. Or
I kind of
getting the Kelly Oubre's and whatever.
I always just look at it like people like, well, you kind of like for me, people say, well, Chad, you kind of low on certain players. I'm just like, I just wouldn't do that as an opposing team.
Yeah.
And the opposing team got way more access to information than me. So I'm like, nah, I just wouldn't like for me, I always look at it like, how can each person walk away? Both of y'all feel dissatisfied, or both of y'all feel like y'all won.
Mm-hmm.
And so many scenarios with the Herb deal, it's like you would like to feel like I won, I would be trading him just for expiring salary.
Mm-hmm.
Just so I could be like, yeah, I got off this contract. And that's like it's fucked up that we're here now, but just Waiving Stretch Hawkins, man, we could bounce back, we could survive this. Shout out to the homie J Cal Radio. He said y'all gonna be streaming for Summer League too, bros.
I will. I think I decided with my new injury, I don't think I'm going. So like going to Summer League is definitely out for now. But I ain't fucking red. I'm gonna be doing shows.
Boy.
You wanna do the first game live?
I might do that. I probably would do that. You know what I'm thinking about too? Now we talked about Michael Peavy. Peavy, boy, I got so much faith in you in this Summer League. I'm putting all my money on Peavy. Peavy and Pierre. Peavy and Pierre. Like, boy, I need y'all to attack this motherfucker.
Bro, Bryce is what? How many years in the league is Bryce?
I don't think he's gonna play.
I don't think so either.
I think he got 4 years in the league. I think
so. I don't think Bryce needs to play either. But like Peavy, Pierre, no, y'all go out and show.
Please, Peavy.
Out. Listen,
Peavy got hurt the first fucking game. Ain't that a bitch last game?
Who we play? I know the schedule out.
I don't even know.
I can't remember. I know the schedule out for it or whatever. Let me look that up.
Boy, Peavy, no pressure, but I need you to help us, though. Like, no pressure, Mike. Michael, come on the show so we can talk to you, bro. Mike, MP, come on the show. Bring your brother Anthony Black. So I wanted to ask you about this trade too. Of course, this. I don't know how realistic this is, but I think the Pelicans would like Anthony Black. And dog, the Magic got so many issues right now, cap wise. Do you think they would consider saving a few bucks and taking Jordan Hawkins and a lottery protected first for Anthony Black? Anthony Black due for an extension. This is in the event you can't move Jalen Suggs, and you gotta pay Anthony Black soon. Would you offer a first for Anthony, a lottery protected first for Anthony Black if you got to move off Hawkins?
First, I would offer for Anthony Black. I believe in Anthony Black future, to be honest.
I think dude cold. I ain't gonna lie, son. Especially with Sham God, like he get back with Sham God.
What was his offensive numbers? Because he started to improve.
Mm-hmm.
He started to improve. He's a good. He remind me. This is gonna sound. He remind me of Dyson a little bit.
Yeah, I can see that. That's how I feel.
He remind me of Dyson, just with a little bit better offense, but I don't really know, because I don't know if I'd trade a first for Dyson.
Oh no, I wouldn't. He remind me. I think his offense, like his defense, is already really good, especially at the point of attack.
Mm-hmm.
I think offensively, he's just so much better than Dyson right now, and that's the thing, right? Like last year, he only shot 33% from behind the arc. His rookie year, he shot 39%. But he a career 33% shooter from behind the arc. He shot 51% from the field. Got 3 free throw attempts a game. Shot 73% from there. Got about 4 rebounds a game. Got 1.5 steals. 3.7 assists. Almost a whole block. 2 turnovers, and he doesn't foul a lot either. So he averaged 15, 3, and 3. Like
that's not bad.
Especially for a third-year guy, man. I would try to do that. I ain't gonna hold you.
How tall? I know he's
6'7".
Yeah.
So he got positional versatility.
Yeah.
Like to me, I would use him like, I hate to always say this. I would use him like Najee or Kyle Anderson, because he's not a point guard. I think him and Dyson are those 2 molds of players that's like they're gonna be a point guard, and it's like no, they're not.
Yeah. And I'm not worried about that either because I got
fears. Not at all. I got fears.
On the court, and I guess my concern is, or my thought is unless, because you look at some point, dog, we keep going through this roster and not assuming Queen is starting, not assuming Queen is starting, like because at some point, fit like. You would want to start Anthony Black, I imagine, especially if he get an extension.
Yeah, if he gets to the point where he's like too good to come off the bench,
right?
Then it's you got to start. Now we got a different problem.
So, again, this is what we talk about the roster. Fears at some point will start. Fears, Black, Z as long as he here is starting. Trey as long as he here is starting. And center, you running Queen at the 5?
No.
So now
I think, and like every time I adjust in my hat, that's me thinking before I speak.
You get what I'm saying?
I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think, look, you could have a Draymond type situation to where like one of these guys, like even this year, Anthony Black was kind of like the 6th starter.
6th man, yeah.
Yeah, like
man who had been doing it for forever.
Yeah. It's like, look, on the real, this is today, and I hope I'm totally wrong.
Yes.
I don't see many universes where Derek starts on a good team. I see more universes where Derek is like the 6th starter, like NASCAR package, small ball 5, Naz Reid type 6-man on a good team. And nothing's wrong with that because some people played their whole career and didn't like quote unquote start, but were great players. Like
you play 8 players anyway.
Yeah, you playing 8 players anyway. Yeah.
At least 8 players anyway. So it's not like you're not gonna play.
I just think like
you can play 30 minutes off the bench.
Fucking right. I mean,
yeah, like you can play 30 minutes off the bench.
I just think the cons outweigh the pros at this stage. But who knows? Maybe Derek show up and Derek look like a motherfucking bona fide stud out there. Yeah. Hopefully that's what happens.
I think for as far as that deal goes, obviously if you could do, because I would just look at that as doing like a first for Anthony Black. Like I would.
Yeah, that's how I would look at it too.
That's like would I trade a first for Anthony Black? I believe Anthony Black is worth a first, and I believe in Anthony Black's potential upside.
And I'll also say this for them, the reason why they would do it is because you get to save about $3 million. Hawkins fall off the books. Well, they in a terrible, they in a fucked up position. You
saving future money because
you saving future money and $3 million this year.
Yeah, because you can't afford to just let Anthony Black.
Yeah, you're not gonna let him walk, and until you trade Jalen Suggs or Franz or Paolo, you stuck with that roster of Bane.
Yeah,
and with all you gave up for Bane, you're not gonna trade
Bane.
Unless you get a whole new front office.
Ooh, so again, you might be in a situation now. Also, if Mosley really liked Anthony Black, you know what I mean. I don't mind like kind of reuniting him with some of his old players to give him some familiarity or whatever. Starting out, unless he just be like, "Fucking no, I want to start completely fresh" or something like that. If he said no to Anthony, not no, but like I don't think Anthony Black. For the future, then I'll lean on his wisdom, having experience with Anthony Black.
And also, I mean, again, Anthony Black credits Sham God with his production. He said Sham God, one of the people that believed in him. Anthony Black, when he spoke about Mosley, he was like, "Man, he's a good coach. I just hope the guys down there buy in."
Yeah.
And so, man, look,
he was year 2 this year, right?
This is his 3rd year.
This was year 3.
Yeah, it was year 3 for him.
Okay. 15 ain't nothing to sneeze at.
Fuck no, especially you got a motherfucker averaging 8 that you paying 20 mil. Man, I don't even.
He's a good defender.
Yeah, he's a hell of a point of attack offense. Like and he got upside. You know, so I hope they would consider it.
I'd do that.
But Josh Murdoch he said what's good, y'all. The Pelicans are tripping for not wanting to trade for John Morant. Dude would be great in New Orleans.
I agree. I don't want to say the tripping part, but I'll say he would be great in New Orleans. Well, I hope he would be great in New Orleans.
I think he would be good in New Orleans if everything worked out. I just think, man, right now it's a PR disaster, like for his camp, and I hope that they're able to change some of that narrative. And people probably playing hardball too, like across the NBA. Like, I'm not giving you nothing for him.
You know what? Ultimately, I think he's gonna be in New Orleans, dog. I ain't gonna
think lie. So. You calling your shot today?
I think so, bro. Like ultimately, like when we look around, like I know that like it's a lot that's gotta happen.
Yeah.
I don't, because if like I'm looking at the other teams, right? Unless Dejounte looks a certain kind of way, I guess. Who else is gonna make that deal? Right? Like who else is gonna make the deal? Because for Phoenix, it's gotta be Jalen Green.
And Phoenix, and then with Phoenix it gotta be Jalen Green and someone.
Jalen Green and for Miami.
And right now they're a first apron team, if I'm not mistaken.
Miami,
you reunite John Dillon.
Wiggins and
Miami got to be Wiggins and something. The Pelicans really in a prime position to make this deal. The Pelicans can make the deal with like 5 different ways.
Yes, and so like when I think about like all like it, just look around the league, like teams. It ain't even many teams that need a point guard.
Yeah, it's only like 3 right now.
Yeah, so like, and we don't technically need one because you got Fizz. So like. You could go ahead. I ultimately think we would do it.
I think we should, bro. Honestly, like if my word mean anything and it don't, I think we should. We should.
You know what else is a big benefit of it as well? If you did, like potentially, if you did it right, going into next year, you already got Dejounte on the books for 27 anyway. Right, if he opts in, like Ja would be a bigger expiring than
it would be an even bigger expiring. Yeah,
it would be a bigger expiring, and you would possibly create another roster.
And it's a more realistic reclamation project, like because even if Dejounte is, let's say Dejounte is as good as we saw him versus the Knicks last year.
Yes,
it's like that's the peak. Well, not the Knicks. I'm sorry. I guess like the Raptors, the Houston game. That's the peak. Yeah. Whereas with Ja, it's like that's still not as good as Ja in London or Ja. Like it's just whatever, man.
Like the best version, like the best version. If you got a decent version of Ja, or boy, you better not get the best versions of Ja.
It's better than some of the best versions of the other options you have.
Listen, like if you got the best version of Ja, like you a playoff team.
I don't even like thinking about Ja no more, though. I ain't gonna lie. Just because it's like I don't even want to disappoint myself. Just because I'm just like
I had moved on from it. I had let her go.
But I'm just like, damn, he almost free. Y'all don't want I don't know. But I know behind the scenes, Ja been wilding out a little bit too. Yeah. But shout out to Just Tweaking. They said we getting scratched for free agency. Everybody is, bro. The only big free agent this year is gonna be Walker Kessler.
Yeah,
he's like the marquee free agent.
Unless you see Duran move, Kessler move, Brian move. Like
you know what's crazy about that? About Duran and Kessler and even LeBron. People don't want to have to pay them.
No.
Like there's not a bunch of people, motherfuckers lining up, say 40 million here. That's a deal.
Yeah, like I love to give Walker Kessler $35 million.
Yeah, like the Lakers with LeBron, they kind of like, man, we'll see what we got left. Like, cause we got Luka. Like that's how they handling it. We got Luka, and then they like, well, with the Jazz, they like, we got everybody. We could bring Nurkic back and let you go about your business if the price get out of whack. Like,
what would be your max for Kessler?
My max, probably the trade contract or a little more because he play a more valuable position.
So 30.
I will start him at about 27.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's worth
willing to go to 30. Because Trey make about 27. So you said a little bit more.
Well, I'm talking about when Trey first got that deal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when he first got that deal. So if it was like 27, 28, you could probably twist my arm for 30. If it was like 30, 29, 28. Yeah. If it was like something like that, or 30, like descendant, I probably would do it. Like if you just want to say I made 35 million this year.
Bro,
like,
Hardenstein just got 25. You can't tell me that you significantly better than Hardenstein.
Yeah, and it's like I think he's worth at least. I could he's younger. I think he's worth at least 28. Like just because the free agent always get the money. Like you know what I'm saying? Well, that's usually anyway.
Well, you gotta pay. Typically, you gotta pay the tax to move them.
Yeah, so it's like, and I mean, with the Jazz, if I'm an opposing team, if I had the cap space as an opposing team, I'm about to fuck y'all up. I'm about to offer him a bunch of money.
That's what I was saying too. Like, give me all right.
Especially if I knew I wasn't getting nobody anyway. I'm like, oh yeah, go ahead, go ahead. Yo, shout out to everybody in the building. Make sure y'all hit that like button, man. We got 92 people in the building. Hit the like button for us, man. Mason Brick say y'all think Philly would take Herb.
If you took Paul George,
I think they would, but they don't have many avenues to get him aside from Paul George. Like they're gonna need a real defender next to VJ and Maxey, or somebody with a little more size.
Ooh, well, that's what Kelly Oubre for, but I don't know.
He a free agent.
Yeah, I don't know if they could bring Kelly back.
Him and Grimes free agents. That's the thing. Like they don't have a deep roster.
They don't.
They top heavy guys.
They ain't even really use Grimes either.
Oh yeah, now Grimes. They had Grimes as a strictly defender guy, 3-and-D guy, guarding Jalen Brown, and Grimes he did his thing, but it was like,
I like Grimes. Grimes had him had him a stretch.
I think he another dude. We got a relationship with Troy Weaver. There's some familiarity there. I think that would actually be an interesting signing there.
No, the
Dark
Pelicans
Knight.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. The Pelicans have. You can bring in 9 like ideal moves. Like if you brought in for Grimes and Carlson, well, like people be like,
I gotta see this Carlson dude. Is this dude good?
Watch the video.
What's his name again?
Brandon Carlson. Brandon Carlson. He on YouTube. They got a couple games on YouTube. I tried to watch it on mine. My internet couldn't hold up.
Brandon Carlson. 7-footer. Like a promising guy. He was he from South Jordan, Utah. Looked like a true 7-footer. Yes. Shot 36% from 3. He didn't get much run, so he only played. He's 26 already.
Yeah. Well, we ain't talking about him being.
No. Oh yeah. I'm just saying like generally, but yeah, he would be a nice rotational guy, I guess. Yeah, he's nice rotational guy. Got 2 attempts, 36% on 2 attempts, average about 3 rebounds. If he would have got more minutes, surely he would have gotten more. But yeah, I'm not mad at something like that.
Watch the video when you got second chance to pull up the video. You on YouTube?
Nah, it's gonna fuck my shit up. Because when I do film breakdowns, it get me with a strike.
Oh no.
Like that Brazil when we did the second round prospects, man, that shit hit, man.
Ooh, about to shut us down,
Ember hating on me. But shout out to Kevin McCorkle. He said, "Yo, I honestly believe if Dejounte Murray had a decent season, I could see him in clutch opting out. I think you could move him as an expiring as well. Yeah, if he having a decent season, I think you can move him at the deadline potentially. Like, and especially if him and Fears both having a good season, it's like, all right, now I could really do something here. Like, we clear my books.
Do that shit, boy.
What do you mean? Move him at the deadline?
Louisiana girl.
Oh, what you just said?
That shit
she said
done.
Louisiana girl said Portland sent y'all 4 firsts, including the Milwaukee picks, plus Shaden Shaw for salary. For Trey Murphy to be sent to Boston, the 3-team deal, so Boston can land Jalen. Would y'all accept it? Wait, so Portland
can land Jalen. I would.
So Portland giving us 4 of the Milwaukee first, like 4 of the swaps. Portland giving us 4 swaps. Shaden Sharp and salary for Trey to be sent to Boston so that Boston can land Jalen. I probably would do it.
Fucking right.
I probably would do it because now I just got to, because like Shaden averaged 20. Now I just got to go find me the best 3-point shooters I could find and like round out the rest of the roster. That's a lot of fucking picks. So I would definitely do that. Yeah. My only issue would be like Portland getting Jalen. Like that would be my issue. So but here's the thing too. Like they would also have to.
Lie. For me personally, I'm sorry to cut you off. My bad. Mm-hmm. I don't give a fuck what other teams get sometimes when I'm building my team.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Yeah, and they also would have to send out other stuff. Like that's 25, so they'll have to find another like 30. So it would have to be like Jabari. Ooh. It had to be like Jabari and what's his name? Like Jabari and Trey to Boston or something like that. Louisiana, I guess that's something that was floated to me earlier. Portland has been definitely trying to land Jalen, but doesn't want to give up Demi or Klingon. Now, that's the thing, too. Like, in a situation like that, I do still wonder, like, because they also got to pay Denny soon. Like, but I'm like, if y'all keep Denny, Klingon, now y'all got Jalen, I need all y'all picks. Like, I need y'all to not have no pathways to getting better. Because I gotta deal with you bitches 4-5 times a year. So I need y'all to not have no pathways to getting better. Like, whoo, that's interesting. That's an interesting one.
For me, it would be what's the end salary?
Yeah, I think
salary. Like, is it
if it's Shaden, then
you still need like possibly
you need like $4 million. Yeah, I mean you probably need like a rookie guy. Like if I can get that perimeter guy they got, what's his name? Kamari. I
don't
think they would do that.
But listen, you can't be greedy. You can't keep no.
See, I need all of the Milwaukee picks because I don't want Portland picks because y'all gonna be good.
What will Boston get other than Trey?
They would probably get like what's his name?
Because that don't seem like a good deal for them.
I always forget his name. The wing. Oh, the wing over there with the expiring. I always forget his name.
Who?
He could shoot. What's this motherfucker?
For the
Jeremy Grant. Jeremy Grant. It would probably be that for salary.
Oh, like Trey and Jeremy Grant.
Yeah, it'd probably be something like that for salary purposes. But they really need a center. If they're not gonna move, honestly, if they're not moving Klingon, I don't really know how they plan on getting Jalen. You're not moving Klingon or Demi.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like you better find a third team with a big.
Definitely would have to move all the picks.
I want, and that's my thing. I'll be like, I want all Milwaukee picks today because I don't see. Because to me, that's one of them deals where like it makes you significantly better. It makes me a little bit worse for us need.
Yeah,
and you're gonna be good. So what the fuck I'm gonna do with your picks? I need all the Milwaukee picks because I think they're gonna be bad. I'm hoping they're gonna be bad. Like that would give me 5 Milwaukee picks. Well, I would.
The ideal moving trade to get Shaden, who I think can score, got upside, and have those picks to be able to like navigate moving those picks to rebuild the roster as well, especially because then again you still about to have your potential cap space moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, depending on like you wouldn't really lose nothing cap wise. The only thing you would really lose in theory is 3-point shooting, and you could find that somewhere.
But again, if I got, let's say I just came up on 4 first, right? Shaden, now I can go into, and I got some space. I could probably be like, here's a couple first for a player or two. You know what I mean? Like you probably could be more aggressive with some moves because you got resources.
I guess it just depending on who you wanted in that regard. Like
I don't know.
That's why I say like the thing with Trey is like if Trey was a 6'10" player that played like a 6'10" player, like if he was a rebounder, stretch 4 type guy. That changes everything because in that event, I wouldn't trade him. But, and I'm not like, I would prefer not to trade him now.
I prefer not to trade him.
But I will say, if you could get 4 firsts, like especially if they like from a bad team.
If I got 4 firsts and Shaden, then it's kind of like,
bro, I'm trading Zion for 4 firsts. Like I would trade anybody on the team for 4 Milwaukee firsts today.
That's what I'm saying. If we talking about Shaden, salary is probably like, I don't know, though.
Like, I'm not that high on Shaden no more. Like, I used to be when he first came into the league. But I'm like, I almost don't give a fuck who the player is.
That's what I mean.
Like, yeah, it could be Jeremy Grant. If I could get 4 unprotected, like, where they swaps.
Like moving
well, that's the thing too.
Can't play though.
Now that's the thing too. Now wait, let me say this as well.
Mm-hmm.
In that event, I need Portland. The mechanism would have to be that either I get the pick in addition to my own pick, and Milwaukee get the worst of the pick, and Portland don't get nothing. Like that has to be like that has to be how the deal is orchestrated. Yeah. I'm sure that's how it is right now anyway. But I need y'all to trade me all y'all best of swaps. And then I would do it, because that's essentially, because I don't want just swaps, like then because that's like I ain't get shit. But I need all y'all best of swaps. Yeah, and I would do that. I would trade Zion for that deal today.
Yeah,
like just I'm just like, yeah, that's too many picks to turn down. Like it just and it could totally not work, but that's a brutal overpay in this market. You couldn't turn it down. So
that's why I'm just like. And the only thing with Shaden and Trey, I do think Trey's the better player, but I'm just like, it's not like you trading it for her. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get a guy that can at least fucking play.
Yeah, he's like a real player. My only thing with Shaden would be that he's 6'4", and he don't shoot. So it's kind of like, remember when like they traded CJ and they were like Anthony Simon's gonna be the next CJ, and he wasn't. That's kind of how I feel about Shaden. I feel like he's that type of player too.
He got buckets though. Anthony Simon still could get to it.
Yeah, but now he ain't gonna be a minimum guy. But now he ain't gonna never touch 30 again. Like that's like
probably not 30. But I'll
be shocked if he touch 20 again.
Ooh, I think he'll get 20.
Because he's just coming off a big contract. I'm trying to think like who the team. He would have to have a 1 year, and he just went crazy in that 1 year.
I think it's just crazy because those players not really getting paid right now. But if he choose right now, but again, that's the part that's tough, man, because those players not really getting paid. It's a tough situation.
Like he was coming off the bench in Boston, and they traded this nigga for Vucevic. I was like, yeah.
I think he's a good player though.
I think he's a solid player.
I think I like players like that, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Like I like players. Like I'm not saying that I would take Anthony Simons to be like but if I had Anthony Simons at like 20 million, bro, I think you could still. It's a lot. Don't get me wrong, but like I still think Anthony Simons I think you still could win.
I think you could win.
You think you could find Anthony Simons for much cheaper?
Yeah, because it's just like scale. I can only pay you by what your most recent work, and it's like you just got traded pretty much for nothing. You went to Chicago and you ain't really do nothing there. So now you like an ML.
What his production is.
Yeah, to me, I think once you lose big money, you never get to it again. Like I can't think of a guy that like even with Jose got the same contract. He got less money actually.
Yeah.
Like so I think like once you're a person, nobody gonna give Cam Thomas $15 million.
Cam Thomas might not be in the league.
Yeah, like he might not be in the league. Like even like Zach LaVine, nobody gonna give him another 40.
No,
like he had to do something astronomical, and that's the thing. Like once you lose big money, it's hard to get it again on free agency unless a nigga trades for you.
No, this man, though, he shot talking about. So it's when he played, he was hurt this year too. Talking about Anthony Simons. When he played for Boston, he played 25 minutes a game, averaged 14 points, shot 40% from three. He was 44 from the field. That's the issue.
I think if they didn't trade him,
I think he would have series.
I think they paid him before he proved that he was worth that money, and it just didn't work out. Like, that's ultimately what happened. Shout out to the homie Dog Knight. He said, "Do you guys think they need to go get more role players to know their role that are not high usage guys?" Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. Like, much love and respect to Sadiq Bey, but Sadiq Bey should not be getting all the motherfucking post ups this upcoming season.
My biggest thought for them is you need to establish this hierarchy. Which, if anything comes out of this season, that's what I hope comes out of this season. They establish hierarchy.
I hope so as well.
Anthony Simons is a career 38% 3-point shooter.
Yeah, dude is a fucking sniper. I think he gonna find his role.
7 attempts a game.
I think he gonna find his role as like a 6-man.
38% on 7 attempts is not bad.
That's elite.
That's what
but I think like that's why I was like, what the fuck? Like, Patrick Williams is shooting, I think, like 38% on like 5 attempts or something weird, like maybe 4. And I was like, man, the fuck this dude. But that go to show you, just like, and he can shoot, but you know, but Anthony Simons, I think he's a solid player. Breezy, I don't understand why Jordan Weaver won't trade Dejounte Poole. Well, won't do the Dejounte Poole trade for for Morant. If you're going to be a bad team, do a Ja Morant trade, make games in the Smoothie King Center exciting. Well, that's kind of.
I don't think they think they're gonna be bad.
That's also kind of assuming that Memphis won Dejounte, to be honest.
That's also true.
I was about to say they might not want his contract neither. That's another thing that
thing that I mentioned too. Part of the holdup that I thought is that they don't want the extra year of Dejounte.
They might. That's something that I just considered, like, just now.
I thought about that before because the pushback, not pushback, but the thought that I had is we keep saying Dejounte, right?
Right.
But if they be like, no, because we won't get off the money too, right? Like the problem with Ja is the extra year of the deal. Same thing with Dejounte if he opts into it. With Poole, you could do it with Poole, and they probably like, look, fucking right, we'll do the Poole deal, Poole and all, right? But then you still got Dejounte that you can't move. So now you got Ja, Dejounte, and Fizz. And what if you can't find no deal for Dejounte?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, cause now you stuck and then Dejounte like a diva.
Yeah,
so you stuck in like a weird. You stuck in a weird fucking position. Louisiana girl said,
"Not who you starting." So now your starting lineup is fucking Dejounte Murray and Ja Morant.
And Louisiana girl said, "I don't know what this means for Fred VanVleet, but Houston is going hard after Marcus Smart." I haven't seen any Fred VanVleet workout videos just yet, so I hope he's not
some
fucked
podcast
up.
Videos though.
Yeah, I hope he's not fucked up bad, to be honest, with that meniscus, because that shit could be like a funky fucking injury, especially if it's like a partially torn meniscus. Like, it could be a funky ass injury. Already said, did we sign the UFAs to bring in the camp? Yeah, they signed a few. They signed a few for
I don't think nothing
for summer league.
Mentioning right now.
Yeah, I don't think nobody going. I don't think none of the people they signed gonna make it, to be honest. Shaq Zilla said, do y'all think Jonas would ever resign now that Griffin Willie gone? I don't think they would want Jonas.
Jonas overseas. Jonas then left the NBA. He was trying to leave last year.
Oh, he officially gone now? They declined this thing already?
I don't know, but I know he was like, I saw something saying he was going to play for one of them fucking teams.
Say, so the Lakers need a point guard now as well. Yeah, if Marcus Smart leaves to Houston, they're gonna need a point guard. They got some cap space.
They not going to get Ja?
No, but I'm saying, well, you never know. But I doubt it.
Boy.
But I'm saying that now they did have interest. Pelinka did have interest in Dejounte Murray before.
Yes, when he was
and they got some picks. But it's like, how would you make the salary work? Would you trade him into cap space and the Pelicans just get a big ass exception? Like, maybe like, look, I'm not opposed to it because I could use that exception to take back something else. You feel me? And I could still trade Poole for Ja if I wanted to. I could use that exception to go get fucking Jared Allen or something.
Yeah, I would if it's me, I think sending Dejounte to LA probably helps them out a little bit because I think it's like Dejounte would have no choice but to defer to Luka. Like it's fucking, you know what I mean? It's Luka and AR.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you ain't. You'll get some ball handling,
and that's the thing.
Not
the
much.
Lakers, Mark is not really a traditional point neither.
No, he play a little bit off the ball, but like it will open up the opportunity for you to get jobs. But like I had thought about, I think I might have mentioned this on like maybe a Pels and a Blender episode a while ago, but I was just like, dog, the Dejounte for like if I'm Memphis, right? Why would I want the extra year? And then it's just kind of like, I don't know if you send out the expiring, because if you send it out and you can't get off Dejounte, now I'm sitting there stuck. I can't move Dejounte. I don't know what I'm doing with Herb. Like your team becomes.
I think they would really only trade for Dejounte and Herb if they was going to try to be good. I think if they like, man, we just trying to. We're gonna try to get a couple more picks and we ain't really tripping. I think they would want probably Poole and like stuff. But
give me Poole and Hawkins.
Now Jonas is
they would do that. They would do that.
I don't
Poole
know.
and Hawkins for jobs
because there is
that'd be their money.
Because there is a chance that they kind of like, no, we still value Ja. Like we not attaching shit to get rid of Ja. We want a pick. Like it is a chance that they still kind of holding their nuts. Now they would be dumb to do that at this point, but it's like all it would take is Ja to come back and be decent, and then you're like, well, wait a minute. Now this nigga, at first he could have been worth like 2 seconds. Now he's worth the protected first. If he keep playing this way, he's gonna be worth the real first. And then that's why without knowing exactly what they asking for, it kind of make it like, I don't know. I think Jonas got an option. Squallow. I think they gonna decline Jonas' option so they can try to sign some motherfucking body.
Yeah, they can't afford to bring JV back.
It's a luxury at this point. Go through a few of these. D said, would you target Collins or Porzingis? I'm gonna say Collins. Who would you say?
Collins. Porzingis too much of a risk, and they talking about bringing him back anyway.
Yeah, the Warriors. Yeah. Pelican Note said, do y'all think the Pelicans will make a move on Tuesday? Tuesday being the beginning of free agency. I hope their first move, and they could do this today, is waiving and stretching Jordan Hawkins, bro. Wave and stretch it. Like, yo, please. Yeah, please, y'all. Please. This tweet can say, I think Herb was trying to get traded last year. He sure played like it. He played like he was trying to stay.
I think a lot of them dudes don't mind moving, and that's cool too.
I don't think so. I mean, that's my thing too. My only thing is like, bro, when you sign a contract and you're not a rookie no more, you are part of the reason we win or lose. Yeah. So do your job. Like, you know what I'm saying?
If you play better, then we look better.
Yeah, and I go for everybody on the team on the real. Shout out to Fresco. He said move Herb for who though?
Anybody.
Yeah, I take a turkey sandwich. Honey turkey. not mesquite. Honey turkey. Yeah, because sliced thin. Here, like I'm just trying to get off that contract. I ain't gonna hold it.
I won't lie, that Cleveland deal was kind of appealing.
Yeah, with Max Strus, boy, I'd do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I'm still calling Denver and see what Denver talking about.
I don't know how they would do it, because it would be Herb, and it would have to be Herb and Hawkins for Cam. And now you might save on what, like $1 million, $2 million?
I don't know.
That might be all they need.
People calling about Cam, so it's just kind of like
I would at least see what it takes.
Yeah.
Baskerville say, "What's up, family? What's the plans for Hunter Dickinson?" And this year he being funny. I don't think so. Hunter, big motherfucker though.
He gonna go do his part in summer league.
It'll be interesting to see if he even play in summer league, because they got him as a like a restricted guy. Boston signed Kevon Looney. Looks like.
Did they?
Let me see. Did Boston sign Kevon Looney? That makes so much sense for them, honestly, bro. If they did, yep, they signed. Well, they say it could be. That's Mark Stein and Jake Fisher says believe that Looney is also on Boston's way to go NBA fucking Central. That's a terrible headline. He could be on their list. Like
I did see that too. Yeah, the Atlanta Hawks have guaranteed.
Oh, Buddy Hill. Boy, Buddy Hill gonna eat good with them big ass teeth. Shout out to Buddy Hill, man. Yo, y'all in the building, make sure y'all hit that like button. Why I say Jonathan Isaac, Marvin Bagley, and Gary Trent or some shooter. I would be happy with that.
Wait, Jonathan Isaac, Marvin Bagley, Gary. I ain't mad at either one of those.
I think that'd be a great offseason, honestly.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Isaac getting more than like $4 million. He probably gonna take a vet man to go to a contender.
I told you I think I heard his body in Minnesota.
Oh yeah, Minnesota, yeah. We'll see. Ooh, can you imagine Isaac and Gobert defensively, but offensively? Jesus.
Listen, Isaac, Gobert, and Jaden McDaniels though.
But it's like, Ant, you better shoot 23s a game next season. Boy.
They ain't tripping. You heard it, though.
They gonna be.
Ant and LaMelo. Jaden has started upping his scoring a little bit too. I don't think you can play that line.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, can you imagine like starting Isaac at the 4 with Gobert? It was like, Nick, it's like starting Herb.
They don't get everything though, but
Herb,
at least Isaac more athletic than Herb.
Yeah, at least. But the thing is, it's like, yeah, I about to say at least Herb play, but man, things change. Raphael say, what do you expect to get out of Hunter Dickinson in the summer league? Cardio.
Yeah.
Hunter Dickinson, a big 7'2" motherfucker, but it's like, I don't know. He don't look like he got long arms. He just look, he looking like he remind me of Aaron Gray.
I know exactly why you say that.
He remind me of Aaron Gray. Like he big, but he ain't like a monster out there. Like Dickinson
don't really. I don't even know why. I know people joking when they bring up Hunter Dickinson or whatever, but it's like, dog, they got plenty of players in the league like that.
Yeah, ton of motherfuckers. That's just like, I want to know, like, what's that dude? The one with the big ears. He used to be in the commercials with the goldfish.
Bovine.
Yeah, Bovine. It's like, I'm just tall. I ain't got no game.
Like 7'5", making the big heart and whatnot.
Yeah, they got no game.
Players in the league like that.
It's fucking circus attraction. Louisiana gal say Boston and New York are battling for Looney. Shout out to the Loon dog, man.
They gonna play that dude appropriate minutes, and he gonna come out there and get timely rebounds.
I think he'll be a very good replacement for Mitchell Robinson.
I agree. Very cheap. He gonna go out there and do the same thing that Mitchell Robinson. Just go out there, be big, play smart.
Yep, vet man guy. B. Penton said, y'all taking Turner at his 30, Bagley for 10 or Ayton for 15?
Bagley for 10.
You gonna say Bagley for 10?
I ain't getting Bagley 10, but I'll take Bagley.
Yeah, I'll take Ayton for 15. If those are my three choices, I say that because I don't know. I might take Bagley. I'll probably take Bagley at this stage.
It depends on the amount of.
I wouldn't take Turner at 30 under any circumstances.
No.
Like just under nose. Well, you know what? Let me say this because that's not necessarily true.
I would take Turner under any circumstances.
Like, not at 30, I'm saying. Like, at 30, I wouldn't do it. If it was a situation where it was like Herb for 20 or Turner for 30, I would take Turner. But it's like, other than that, I don't want none of them to do. I need to cut costs to get some talent, dog. Like Turner another motherfucker 7 foot don't rebound.
You rather give Turner 30 or you rather pay Duren 40?
Because I think Duren just had a white side moment.
That Duren for 40 is crazy, huh? Listen,
but here's the thing.
Play on your money, bro.
Here's the thing.
Play on your money.
And this is why some of these awards need not to exist no more. Like all defense, all NBA third team, like them two things, they kind of need to go away because it gives you negotiating leverage that you probably shouldn't have. Because Duren is not significantly better than Turner. He just had one incredible year.
Perfect timing.
And he about to get he about to get this paper.
I'm not. Listen,
he
bro,
might go back to being the exact same nigga he been his whole career.
I'm not letting them off the hook. I need my bread. I got to.
Oh, fuck no.
Especially if what you saying is true, and people like, I think he gonna go. If I think I'm gonna go back to what I was, I gotta capitalize on this moment.
Yeah,
I gotta capitalize on this moment. You're not about to play on me.
I feel like
somewhere.
Man, that can just go so bad. Like all these things can just go so bad.
But like look, I don't care.
That's the reason. But see, shit like that be the reason why Detroit like nah, because I see you every day. Like I know the real you. Or even like with Miles, it's like Miles, we see you every day.
Yep.
We know the real you. You had a little run.
Somebody gave him the money.
Let him walk. Somebody gave him the money. And look, they gave him the money, and now Giannis walked.
Yeah, but listen, if I'm during,
I'm getting my money if I'm during.
I'm gonna get my money. I don't care what you say.
If I'm during, I ain't leaving nothing on the table.
No.
So what you gonna do? Not give it to me? Then,
all right. Don't get like, especially after what just happened. Don't get it to me.
You can't afford to just let me walk. Like, like what are you talking about? Like, you know what I'm saying? So
let them say, go test restricted free agency. Somebody gonna come up with that for you,
bro. A sucker is born every minute. Like even if somebody said, "Darren, we got 35 for you," I'm going over there. Sign and trade me over there. No. Know what? Don't match. I'll cause a big old motherfucking scene, and then if they match, he gonna just be like, "My heart's in Phoenix."
Yep.
He just not. He gonna act like a bro. I don't want to be here. I'm not happy here.
Why would I want to be here,
bro? If they would have let Ayton just go to Indiana, his whole career might be different. Nigga, I don't want to be.
Phoenix might have been able to shake back. They might have had a chance of being good. You tried to force it.
Man, shout out to everybody building. Make sure I hit that like button. So Tuesday, free agency officially opens. I'm hoping that Hawkins has been waived and stretched by then. And maybe Herb has been traded. Who knows? It's the Wild West right now. Bullets are flying. But make sure you hit that like button. Hit the hype button. Elvin, tell the people they can find you at, brother.
Man, y'all can catch me at Pels in the Blender on YouTube. Make sure y'all go like and subscribe to the channel, man. Or just say Davis on social media, which is X or Instagram. One of the two. Appreciate it.
Yes, indeed, man. Yes, indeed, man. Y'all know Pelicans Critic. Make sure y'all tap in with me on Instagram, at Twitter. You know, man, I really need Hawkins waived and stretched by Tuesday, dog. Like, I really need this to happen by Tuesday. But yeah, that's the show. One love to all y'all, man. Look, don't let all the it's okay to be objective, it's okay to be positive, it's okay to be negative, but make sure people are being solution-based, solution-oriented instead of just complaining. So, all right, we out, y'all. Have a good week. Peace.